It's the Orioles on Masson, and welcome on this beautiful evening to Game 2 of the three-game set. The Orioles coming away with an impressive victory. Overall, fine effort. Maybe their best of the season in Game 1 to beat the Cleveland Indians. Hi, everybody. I'm Gary Thorne, and welcome for the Orioles. Only 3 hits surrendered by the staff last night. Jeremy Guthrie led the way and got the win. That's the fewest hits the Orioles have surrendered in a ball game. On the other side of it, the Orioles were piling up the hits themselves. And for the first time this year, 3 different Orioles had 3 hits in the same game. Take a look at the bats. Starting with Corey Patterson. Patterson outstanding here in the first 3 games that he has played. Came away with a singles and a couple of runs. Luke Scott, 3 singles for Scott. He, too, would come across the plate a couple of times. And the Orioles would get help from Mr. Dependable, Ty Wigginton. 2 singles, a double. He had a run scored and an RBI as Wigginton continues to lead the ball club. Jim, that's the kind of offense the Orioles have hoped for, and last night it all came together.
Yeah, I mean, they struggled a little bit earlier because Justin Masterson, good stuff, no command, all over the place. Like Ty Wigginton said, did I really see any of those 2 sliders I struck out on? Takata gets the big hit. Everybody else chips in. They pitch well. They play defense. They are now playing in concert over the last, 18 games for the first time all season.
And Brian Mattis will take the mound. Started out like a house of fire. Last 3 starts have been a bit of a problem. We'll take a look at the differentials in those games and the starting lineups when we come back. By Southwest Airlines. Go to southwest.com. Grab your bag. It's on. Mostly clear skies, lots of blue up there here at Camden Yards. Tonight, 73 degrees at game time, and it is just a gorgeous evening after what has been a spectacular Pimlico day. And now the Orioles try and add to it here with a victory tonight. Take a look at the starting lineup brought to you by Southwest Airlines for the Indians. Cabrera, Grutzelarnik, Chu, Kearns, Hafter, and Peralta. Laporta, Marson, and Crow just called up today. Joins the club. He will be playing in the outfield. There's Travis Hafner against the Orioles.
And our scouting report on the lefty, Brian Mattis, back in the groove. He talks about when he's pitching well, it's almost like a Zen-like moment. Well, let's Zen his way through tonight's game. Command both sides of the plate. He has to get back where he's got that two-seamer down and away with the changeup. And then again, good support early on this year, and then run starved over the last 4 starts. Only 4 runs scored in his behalf.
For this Cleveland ball club, which had started to hit again until last night, they have gone 4-6 against left-handed starters on the season. And Brian Mattis, left-hander on the mound for the Orioles in this one. It'll be Cabrera leading it off, the switch hitter who last night started the series with an 0 for 4. Mattis is ready and delivers to him, and Cabrera will take it up high, and we are underway. Brian Mattis with a 1-0 mark lifetime against the Indians. Cabrera will go to short. It's going to be a long throw, and the backhand is Torres off the mark. Tag put on and got him, and may have hurt Cabrera. Cabrera gets up hanging onto his right leg. That is going to make it off the field here.
Yeah, nice play by Cesar Torres. Look how quickly he gets rid of it, and then nice play by Atkins. Anticipates. I assume he tagged him. Very hard to tell, and maybe got him up on the arm. And you could see abruptly him having to change course and slide to the inside of the bag.
Dangerous slide. He got off. Looks like he's okay. Here's Mark Grudzielanek. Grudzielanek did not play in the ballgame last night. He is starting at second base. He wasn't supposed to be playing quite this many games. It's his 15th start. You see Brian Mattis, we're going to keep an eye on this tonight. The opponent batting average first pitch career 484. So we're going to chalk that tonight and see how that lines up with what happens in this game. And the opponent batting, if the count is 1-0 in his career, opponents are 500 on that count. Here's the 1-1 delivery. Grudzielanek will go the other way with it and fouls it off 1-2.
And what that means is if they put the ball in play in those counts. And they always don't do that. Obviously, if you throw strike one, they foul it off. It doesn't count. But again, the numbers, and it tells you a little bit that Brian Mattis has to be able to stay out of the middle of the plate. The problem he had in Minnesota, unable to do that.
He'll come to the inside corner right there. And a couple of quick outs, a strikeout. He's got 34 strikeouts in 41 innings.
Yeah, Rick Kranitz, the Oriole pitching coach, said he's got to get back. He's much better to right there at the inside to right-handers, but he's got to get back to throwing the two-seamer. He's got a great change-up. He's got a good curveball slider, but back to getting some easy outs down and away from the righties, because he can command down and in, up and in about as well as any young pitcher I've seen.
Sin-Soo Choo, who had an 0 for 3 last night, will start out with a base hit in this one. So a 2-out single for Choo, who has been their hottest hitter in the lineup.
Take a look at the Orioles defense. Corey Patterson taking away a home run by Choo last night. He's in left. Jones, Markakis, great outfield. Tejada is Turris, Wigington, who has played well. And then the big guy, Garrett Atkins, over at first base. Matt Wieters behind the plate once again.
We talked about Brian Mattis and those first pitches when they're put in play. Here's a guy you don't want to get the first pitch into. Kearns is 9 for 11 when he hits the first pitch so far this year. And he doesn't on that one. 2 down, a runner on at first base. Kearns also getting a lot of playing time unexpectedly, and you see why. A .341 batting average, making his 22nd start in left field in the ballgame, and he's provided a couple of home runs and 17 RBIs.
Yeah, totally different hitter. Last year he had the thumb injury that kept him, had to have surgery. The year before, elbow problems. The reason he's on this club is, number one, he's producing, but he got the opportunity because of his manager, Manny Acta. He had him in Washington, and it's a terrific outfield.
Mattis with a chance to get out of the inning here. Choo on at first base. 6-game hit streak for Austin Kearns, and that's that. Good fastball. Couple of strikeouts in the first inning. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 left on base. The offense of the O's coming up. showing up. The reflection on the warehouse. Isn't that pretty? All right, let's take a look at the starting lineup for the Orioles tonight. Brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Patterson, Jones, and Markakis. Tejada, Scott, Wigginton, Wieters, Atkins, and Historis. Luke Scott 7 for 13 in the last 3.
And our scouting report on Mitch Talbot. They got him from Tampa Bay. The Orioles saw him last year out of the bullpen and as a starter in the Shoppage deal. Real deal. He does have good stuff. He's won 4 out of his last 5 decisions. And against lefties, they're only hitting 143.
So Corey Patterson will face a guy who's very tough. There you see the ERA in the starts. Less hits than innings pitched.
And there's the changeup. It's almost like Terry Crowley, the hitting instructor, said it's like Mike Cuellar's curveball. Of course, Cuellar won the Cy Young Award, and he was left-handed, but it's a changeup that actually runs down and away from the lefties. So that might have something to do with that low batting average.
Right-handers, 317 off him. 4 of the 5 home runs hit by right-handers. That one a 1 hopper to Gritzelanek at second base. Mark makes the play. Patterson retired. For the Indians, if they make errors, they are really going to be in trouble. They lose ball games in which errors are committed, and last night they made a couple. It didn't help their cause, although the Orioles offense was enough to overcome what their pitching offered. 2 errors last night, 3 and 12 in those games where they committed them.
Kearns, Crow, Chu with Sizemore getting the night off in center field. Peralta, Cabrera, Gritzelanek over at second base. Laporta moves from left field to first base, and then Lou Marson, second consecutive night. His first full year here with the Indians behind the plate.
And that will bring up Adam Jones, comfortably back in the number 2 spot. He hit only 188 when leading off, hitting close to 300 now when he bats second. And the month of May has been good to him. He's hitting 292 so far this month. The 0-1 delivery to Jones, and the slider is going to miss outside. 1-1.
That error by Sizemore, Grady hadn't made an error in 158 consecutive games. The ball just got underneath his glove.
1-1 delivery on the way, and you saw his reaction. He was not a happy center fielder. He just doesn't do that. He's a Gold Glove player up there. 1 ball, 2 strike count. Adams upped his average overall now to 245. 4 doubles, 3 home runs, and 9 RBIs. 1-2 delivery to him, fouled off outside of third.
Well, there's the changeup here. Adam Jones is probably going to see all his pitches in 1 at bat.
Something's got to give in this one. The Indians against left-handers, their batting average is 210, the second worst. The Orioles against right-handers, 243, the third worst. The Indians are facing a left-hander. The Orioles are facing a right-hander. What gives? We're going to find out. 2 ball, 2 strike count. Outfield pretty much straight away. Very little breeze here tonight. And really just a gorgeous evening for baseball. 2-2 delivery on the way, and Jones to the middle, and he's got a base hit.
That will certainly work. And part of this really metamorphosis as far as being able to hit better is started to hit the ball the other way. Her first extra base hit, 11 games last night, triple right down the right field line. But you made a great point. A couple of times over the last 3-4 games, he has been able with 2 strikes to hit pitches that 3 weeks ago he would not have hit. And there's a perfect example. Covered the outside corner, pretty good breaking ball, hit it back up the middle.
So the Orioles get their first hit of the ball game. It comes with 1 away here in the first, and here's Nick Markakis. 4-game streak, 333 during the streak. There he goes, throw down, and got him. Marson, 32% throwing out base stealers. That's now 7 out of 20, and there are 2 down.
Yeah, a lot of it has to do with how quick your release is, and Lou Marson can do that. And that throw tails right into the runner, Jones, and then Cabrera just tags him somewhere up on the body. Take a look. Adam, not a great base, got good speed. See, the ball must have tagged him somewhere on the neck, face, chest area.
1 for 3 for Jones now in the stolen base department, as Adam will sit down, and big help for Talbot, obviously. Now there are 2 down. And Nick Markakis with a 1 ball, 1 strike count. Nick is hitting .301 on the year. 1-1 delivery to him, and he'll take the pitch outside. in both cases with Talbot on the mound for Cleveland and the Brian Mattis on the other side, the hitters have had very few, if any, at bats against either of these pitchers. 2-1 delivery. Markakis takes, which he's so good at. 3-ball, 1 strike count.
It's kind of unusual they actually ran with Adam Jones because he doesn't steal a lot of bases, and they've only been able now 1 stole and 4 guys getting thrown out. So apparently pretty quick to the plate, even though he's about 6'2".
3-1 delivery. Markakis will take it and will come back. Mark Wagner, the home plate umpire, on the strike, and a 3-ball, 2 strike count.
Well, I'll tell you what, Jerry Meals, who's down at third, one of his partners, did a magnificent job. Maybe missed 1 pitch all night long. That's an amazing night as a home plate umpire.
And the 3-2 delivery, and he did walk him. It's one of the oddities about Mitch Talbot with a 4-2 record. He's walked 20 and he has struck out 16. So the ball's put in play a lot when Talbot is on the mound.
And the other thing is low ERA. Doesn't give up that many home runs, but with runners in scoring position, which is not the case now, they're hitting 320. So there are a lot of things that wouldn't indicate that maybe he should be as good as he is. And he's gotten a little over 5 runs a game in run support.
So now Tejada will get an at-bat. He had a 2 for 4 in the opener last night.
Yeah, they're 2 winners, Talbot and Carmona. Look at that, getting a little over 5.5 runs a game, and that's pretty good run support. Other Indian starters, they're more, as we mentioned, run starved.
4-2 is Talbot's mark. Carmona's 4-1. 1-0 count. Markakis being held at first base. And Tejada will take the pitch inside. How many times does Miguel Tejada end up with a 2-0 count? Not very often.
Well, how many times does he not swing when it gets to be 2-0? I guess we're going to see right here.
Usually the ball's been put in play at this point of the at-bat.
Well, they used to have a guy in Cleveland, Toby Hara, and you could see him open up that front foot and when the helicopter started, because he wasn't going to take ever a 2-0 pitch.
That's way outside. And the count goes to 3-0 on Miguel Tejada. Tejada this season has, looking in the walks department here, 5 free passes. He has struck out only 9 times. He's been the 3rd most difficult hitter in the American League to strike out. He will take all the way on that one, and Talbot puts it in, and it's 3-1. Miggy trying to keep the inning going here and forcing Talbot to throw some pitches, with Markakis having done the same thing, getting the walk.
He hadn't hit a home run in May. He's going to get a pretty good pitch here. I would imagine it would be another fastball. So this will be the 5th pitch he's had a chance to see.
3-1 delivery to him. In the air, shallow right, second baseman Grutzalanic. And he's got it. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. We've completed 1 here at Camden Yards. Game 2 of 3, no score. Luna. Most doubles in a season on our leaderboard since 2005. Brian Roberts on top. Maglio Ordonez, Pedroia, Sizemore, David Ortiz, and Michael Young. Our Luna doubles board. Brian Mattis goes back to work here. Here's Hafner. And Hafner will take the pitch for a strike. Travis Hafner has been red hot. Couple of hits and 3 at-bats in the ball game last night. He has a 3-game hit streak going. Batting only .200 though against left-handers on the season. 0-1 delivery. And Mattis will miss with that one away. 1 ball and 1 strike. Brian's only start against the Tribe. He worked 7 innings, 1 earned run. August 30 of 09, 8 strikeouts. That set a career high for him that he has since reached a couple more times. That's his only appearance against the Indians. Hafner with a 1 and 2.
Yeah, .259 lifetime hitter against lefties, .290 against righties. But the one thing he usually brings to the table, he will take pitches.
He likes the Orioles. Active players, Ichiro, Guillen, Drew, Guerrero, Ellsbury, and Travis Hafner, the highest averages of those still playing.
Well, very rarely does he swing at a ball until you get to 2 strikes like now.
1-2 delivery to the DH, and a good pitch. Took a little off that and perfectly located. 3 Ks.
Yeah, and you go back and look at Brian's last 3 games. He's never had more than 2. So already tonight, more than, and they did a little work. I think one of the good things about leaving early in Minnesota, he got to rest a little bit, and then he had a little bit more focus in his bullpens, and hopefully that will pay off. Certainly looks like it has.
Here's Johnny Peralta. Peralta takes it up high. Peralta, a 1 for 4 in the game last night. He's hitting only .229 as you see on the season, and only .176 against left-handers. 1-0 fastball, and boy, after that off speed to start and that heater, Peralta had no chance to catch up on that. 1-1.
Well, they are last in home runs, and only 3 of their 18 home runs against left-handed pitching. They go with that .210 average we told you.
Chu, Kearns, and Valbuena have the home runs. And taken for a strike. See, for Brian Mattis, we were talking about run support wise in the wins, over 8.5. The losses, a little over 2. 1 ball, 2 strike to Johnny Peralta. And he takes, and that will miss. 2-2. And
that's not to infer that that's the only reason he won, because he pitched well in those games. But it is nice if you do go 6 1/3 innings and give up 3 runs, that they get you more than that, so you can get a win and you can maybe relax a little bit more.
He's going to take the count full here. 3 balls and 2 strikes. 23 years old. 16th major league start. Here at home. 2-2 record. 3-2 delivery, and walked it. He thought he had cut that one on the corner, but does not get the call. So with 1 away, 1 on. Take a look what Jim was talking about. There are the first 4 starts and the numbers, and they were exceedingly good. And then the last 3 starts where he's gone 0-3, and you see how the ERA has jumped up. Base on ball strikeout ratio has changed dramatically. Now the runs of support also has changed, but still he wasn't the same.
And in fairness to him, he also got to face the Yankees twice and the Red Sox, which are, what, 2 of the better offensive clubs as far as taking pitches, make you work, knowing what they want to hit. And he acquitted himself pretty well. It's the game in Minnesota where he just didn't have anything, got the ball up in the middle of the plate, and they were able to do some damage and get him out of the game early. And sometimes, you just go back. I think the one thing that I've learned about Brian is that he's a very quick study.
He learns.
Yeah.
Laporta, and he will take it down low. The losses for Brian, the last 3, the Minnesota game and then 2 against the Yankees. It was 6 runs, 9 hits, 3 2/3 in that last outing, with a career high in runs against him. Working with a runner on at first base and 1 away. Matt Laporta at first base had an 0 for 3 in the ball game last night. 2-0 delivery to him. Laporta's had only 2 hits and 26 at bats against left-handers. That's an .077 batting average.
Gary, it appears to me, because he had some real good at-bats against the Orioles last year, just a totally different hitter this year for whatever the reason. Maniacta certainly wants, if he's going to play left, if he's going to play first, he certainly has to get the bat going. He came over from Milwaukee, their #1 draft choice for CC Sabathia, and he was one of the reasons they made that deal. That and the fact they weren't going to sign or re-sign Sabathia.
So that's part of the youth movement that they're trying to get into the lineup, but it has been delicate because a couple of the younger players just have not been playing very well. He will foul that one back. Laporta's had Branyan share time with him at first base because Branyan's been delivering the long ball for them. So it's been a real juggling act for Maniacta. On at first with the walk, Peralta. Laporta with a 2-ball, 2-strike count. And he will pop that one up. First base. Atkins, with about the only sun coming in the infield, looked right into it and made the catch, 2 down. Tomorrow, Baltimore's hottest address is back. The return of 2110 Utah Street, presented by Home Savings of America and Southwest Airlines. One low price, you get a reserved Utah Street bleacher seat, the exclusive Utah Street t-shirt, and special promotions, prizes, and more. Space is limited. Tickets 888-848-BIRD to Orioles.com for 2110 Utah. Adam and Nick, and they're out there tonight. 2 down. The catcher, Lou Marson. He had an 0 for 2 in the ball game last night, batting just .192. Peralta show no signs of movement at first. The fastball will miss. Real good differentiation shown here in the fastball off-speed pitch. The 8 and 9 batters, I mean, there's no way to explain that. Hitting .485 off him this year in the different lineups. Last year, .152. 1-1 delivery on the way. Down the line, foul.
Well, the one thing about Brian Mattis, when they signed him, and you have to understand, 2 years ago he was at the University of San Diego. I asked Joe Jordan, he said, well, he probably has the best curveball and the best changeup in the draft. And they gave him over $3 million, and you know, he doesn't throw 95 or 7. He has to make his pitches, and when he makes his pitches, he's an awfully special pitcher. You don't find too many guys this young that can command 4 pitches. But he's not a guy that can make a lot of mistakes in the middle of the plate. I don't think he probably never did. That's why he was so as good as he was coming up through the ranks.
He's got a 1-2 count here. Marson will take the pitch, and once again, everybody. We've seen that so many times this year already. The entire position player unit was headed back to the dugout. They'd all taken about 2 steps, including Brian Mattis.
Well, it probably couldn't have missed by more than an inch. And of course, you get an idea. Mark Wegner's not going to give you balls off the corner.
2-2 delivery on the way. Ground ball towards second base. He jammed it. Wigginton's got it and gets the out. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. Orioles with Scott, Wigginton, and Wieters coming up.
emotionally draining than the one in 2005 where he dislocated his elbow, because that one he had the surgery and rehab in the offseason and barely missed any time. So Brian looking forward to coming back, but he still has about another month on the DL, Gary.
Yep, in middle of June, end of June.
June 9th, I think.
Yep.
June 9th is the day that 60 days expires.
And Luke Scott was talking to Dave Tremblay today in the long-range forecast of what do you do with Ty Wigginton when Brian Roberts comes back. And he confirmed what had been rumored. First base. He said if nobody takes that job at first base and grabs it, and he said I hope somebody does, but if they don't, when Brian Roberts comes back, if we're still in need of somebody at first, Ty Wigginton will have a chance to play there.
And he'll play there well because he can acclimate himself to any position, play anywhere, and play in the outfield.
Scott on a chopper to second base. Good Solano.
We told you about the glowing numbers, and again 8 for 54 against lefties coming in. That's 143. But the reason that Talbot is going to be effective against lefties is that changeup. And right there, what does Luke Scott like to hit fastballs? He just turns it over, gets him to roll over, something he hasn't been doing lately.
And that will bring up Ty Wigginton. Wigginton continues to lead the Orioles with those 10 home runs, 22 RBIs for him. One down, and that one is deep and way back. Goodbye, home run, Ty Wigginton, make it 11.
Well, there's your screwball. I tell you, I used to throw this pitch to righties, and I could start counting on both hands the home runs that guys hit on it to right-handers. Watch where the target is. Look where the ball is. And it just kind of hovers until it gets plastered. I mean, this ball propelled out of here.
Wigginton just rocks that thing. And that look brought to you by H.H. Gregg. We make buying TVs and appliances simple. H.H. Gregg, price and advice guaranteed. So Ty Wigginton, his 11th home run, his 23rd RBI of the season. And the Orioles take the lead, fouled away by Wieters. Only the third home run, so I take that back. The sixth home run surrendered. Only the second, one by a lefty and 5 by a righty on the season against Talbot. So the Orioles use the long ball and get the lead. 0-2 count on Wieters. Swung on and got him. There's the first strikeout.
Yeah, that little cut fastball, and he'll sink it and then cut it in on you, and that ball just moved enough to get under the bat of Matt Wieters. 0-2, you got to protect everywhere, and then right there, it almost looks like it wanted to slide, but again, the movement got Matt.
Atkins with 2 down and nobody on, getting the start at first base, and it's taken outside. In the this may help category, biggest differentials from April to May: Lugo, Scott, Atkins, Jones, and Markakis as far as upping their average is concerned. That one to right, Chu will get there, put it away. But Wigginton, second in the league in home runs, gets a solo shot, his 11th, and a 1-0 lead. We serve today for a safe tomorrow. By Cisco Federal, a proud mission partner in the United States Department of Defense. By Panasonic Solutions Company, enhancing government through innovative technology. And by Navy Federal Credit Union. We serve where you serve. Brian Mattis ready to grow, and the newest member of the roster for the Indians, Trevor Crowe, who is making the start in center field, just called up today. Infielder Andy Marte was put on the DL.
Yeah, former #1 draft choice, 2005. Orioles saw him in September. He was up and down 3 times for the Indians last year.
Slices a base hit into right field. So Crowe is on with a leadoff single there in the 3rd inning. Armed Forces Day is celebrated every year on the 3rd Saturday in May. The day created in '49 to honor Americans serving in the 5 U.S. military branches: Army, Navy, Marines, Air Force, and Coast Guard. We want to send along our thanks to all the past and current members of the U.S. Armed Forces for their work and dedication in protecting the U.S. Asdrubal Cabrera, leadoff batter, grounded out his first time up. Second hit off Mattis, the single by Crowe. Crowe has stolen some bases. He was 6 out of 7 at AAA this year. He was hitting the ball pretty well. 244 homer, 13 RBIs for them in AAA.
He almost hit 300 last year in pretty much a full season. 28-29 coming up in the minor leagues.
Cabrera to second. Wigginton's got it. No play at first. Well, I'll tell you, Wigginton's positioning in the first 2 games of this series, especially against Cabrera, have been right on the money.
And he said a lot of it, and you could see him moving right there, and he said a lot of it has to do with learning the pitchers and then hoping that the pitchers, and Brian Mattis is certainly one of these guys, that are going to hit their spots. So you can cheat a little bit, you can lean, and he said, listen, I'm not the fastest guy, but that's part of my game. And, it's not the first guy that wasn't better because he cheated a little bit or he had a pitching staff that could hit their spots.
Cabrera grounded out to him 3 times in the ballgame last night. Here's Grudzielanek. Mark Grudzielanek, a strikeout victim his first time up. The veteran with a strong .286 batting average and getting the start at second base. 0-1 count, runner at first. Crowe not going, and the pitch will be taken inside for a ball. 1-1. Mark Grudzielanek, during the hit streak, is 7 for 15 over a 4-game span. Tough to keep a bat like that out of the lineup when you're struggling for offense, as the Indians have early this year. Here's the 1-1 delivery to him off speed. Had him fooled, but it's up high.
Well, he's 39 years old, and he came up with Montreal, and again, he was a burner back then. He's had 5 years where he's hit 300 or higher. He's a .290 lifetime hitter. He really handles the bat well. Again, if you're struggling for runs, are you going to start the runner? This is a hit and run count. And I think Brian Mattis understands that, and they've stolen 2 out of the 4 bases, so you got speed at first if you're Maniaci. You have a guy that can handle the bat. You're in a situation where the Mattis needs to throw a strike. I would think they'd start the runner here.
Crowe has been leaning over there at first base, and there he goes. They got him picked off. Throw to Atkins to the shortstop, and they got him.
Well, he's a thinker on the mound. He threw over there twice. It's a hit and run count. I mean, this is one of these kids that has good baseball instincts. Talking about Brian Mattis, and then right there, nice throw by Atkins, nice tag by Astures. But again, it's a hit and run count. You just know all the situations, and again, that's part of pitching, having an understanding of that.
Big out, 2 down, nobody on, 2-1 delivery. Grudzielanek will take it down low. Grudzielanek, 217 off the lefty so far, 333 off right-handers. 3 ball, 1 strike count. Everybody's straight away in the outfield on him. Grudzielanek goes right up the middle. Little worm eater right there, and he's on with a single and a 5-game hit streak.
Well, I'll tell you, that's a great way to hit if that's what you know you are.
Never left the ground. Your Orioles wrap up the homestand on Monday and Tuesday. 2-game series against the Royals. Hope you'll extend your weekend with 2 great nights of fun. Family and friends, get them out to the yard. Tickets in advance. Monday's game start as low as $9. 888-848-BIRD or Orioles.com. 2 away. 3 singles now off Brian Mattis. Sin-Soo Choo delivered one of them as he picked up the base hit in his first at bat. Chu staying over that 300 mark. He's been hot. Started out 2 for 18 on the year. And since 327, he's had 19 RBIs in the last 28 ball games.
Well, he leads his club in just about every category. Stolen bases, on base percentage, walks, even strikeouts. Struck out 31 times. All the home runs in April. And had a home run in May yet. And he can hit lefties and righties just about equally as well.
Coming into the game exactly equal. 296 each way. 3-0 count on him. Mattis just couldn't find the strike zone there, and that'll be the second walk he surrendered. So a couple of hits and a walk, making that pickoff stolen base play even more important. And he's got to face Austin Kearns, the cleanup batter, who struck out. Weeder's out, and so is Rick Kranitz, the pitching coach.
Yeah, and I read something about, and somewhere in their notes, that they score 44% of their runs with 2 outs. So this is one of those situations. And again, second time through the order with those numbers with Brian Mattis. Real good early. They make some adjustments. Look at that, 286 the second time. Third time, 364. And to me, it's just about, again, establishing low and away with your fastball and your changeup, and then being able to pitch in. A lot of times I think he just feels like I got to make the perfect pitch all the time, and then where do you go when you get in trouble?
Nothing left.
No, and they adjust, and you hope that's not the case here with Kearns, who struck out the first time.
Austin Kearns will go after the first pitch, and looking for the long ball on it, and the swing and a miss. Kearns with that 337 number. It's big average. 300 against the lefties on the year. Kearns has had 1 home run off each a righty lefty. And he'll take that pitch down low. 1 ball and 1 strike.
And the other glowing number is 385 with runners in scoring position. And that's not with 2 outs, but that's just in a general term. And in fact, their first 4 guys in the lineup are all over 300 when it comes to driving in runners.
Kearns, the only Indian to hit 300 against left-handers this year. One of the reasons why that batting average for a team is 210 off lefties is so low. Mattis gets ahead on the count here. They're 1 ball, 2 strikes. The Indians, under Maniacta, have lost 2 in a row. They are 2-2 on this current 8-game road trip, with the 3 games here against the Orioles. 1-2 delivery to him. Fouled outside to third base. It'll stay at a ball and 2 strikes. Orioles trying to win 4 in a row for the first time this year. For the first time since the last series of last season. Even more important, victory in this ball game tonight would assure them of their 3rd series win of the year. 1-2 delivery, and he chased one, and he's out of there. Mattis gets the 4th strikeout. Couple of hits, 2 are left on base. 1-0 O's. against Mitch Talbot, the right-hander of the Indians. And a ground ball to second base where Grutzelanek will make the play. One away in the third.
Yeah, as Torres only 2 for 30 in May now, and we showed you the big differences of Julio Lugo, but Lugo has done all his damages against left-handed pitching. He's only 3 for 31 against right-handed pitching, so if you're Dave Tremblay, you can't give Cesar a little night off and let him kind of regroup, because unless you got a left-hander on the mound. Lugo's played very well as of late.
Here's Patterson, who grounded out his first time up. 3-game hit streak for him. Patterson on an absolute tear since coming up. He delivered 3 singles in the ballgame last night, scored 2 runs, reached 4 times, the other time with a walk. And he will take the pitch for a strike. Corey has made an enormous difference in the first 3 games. He just has added a jump that this ball club did not have.
Well, he adds what Brian Roberts would bring, which is speed.
That's to Grutzelanek.
And then how about the defensive plays? Not only the robbing Chu of a home run last night, but throwing out Josh Wilson for the final out, the tying run on the Thursday afternoon game. So, but we've seen that. It's not like he didn't prove that at certain times. He's a pretty special player.
2 down here. 5 plays already for Grutzelanek. Pop up and 4 ground balls. Talbot is a predominant ground ball pitcher when he is on, and he's getting the ground balls right now. He hung one up to Wigginton, though, and paid for it. Jones got a single his first time up, so he's had 3 hits and 5 at bats in this series, and will take the pitch outside for a ball. 2 down and no one on. Adam hitting at an even 250 right now. Swing and a miss on that one.
It looks like his fastball again. I mean, he's thrown a couple at 93, but it's usually right around 91. But it looks like it's a boring action. 2-seamer. I don't mean boring like take a yawn. I mean boring in. It's just heavy.
1-1 to Jones. That will catch the corner. 1-2.
And he starts a lot of balls. I talked to one of the advanced scouts, friend of mine. He said he will start that 2-seamer off the plate to righties, and then it'll run back. That was a pretty good idea of that.
1 ball, 2 strike count.
Tell you how hard it is to hit, whether you're Adam Jones or anybody. 130 with a 1-2 count, 2 strikes on you.
1-2. And he'll reach to protect on that one. Adam has been hitting the ball well, safely in 6 of the last 7. 10 for his last 27 coming into the ball game. So he's raised his average from the 218 mark to the 250 mark now with the base hit that he's picked up here in a matter of some 8 games. 1 ball, 2 strike delivery came inside. Talbot will miss with that one, though. And a 2 ball, 2 strike count. Orioles with a lead. Nobody on here and 2 away. Talbot taking a long time here in these deliveries to Jones. Talbot's 2-1 on the road with a very fine 2.6 ERA in road games. He is a rookie. And Jones is out of there. So a 1-2-3 inning. Talbot gets his second K. The Orioles, though, and the Wigginton homer have the 1-0 lead. in a row overall, and they have the 1-0 lead, 1-2-0. The Indians 0-3-0. Brian Mattis, after his third win, he has lost his last 3 starts. This is his 16th major league start. Travis Hafner, the DH, will lead it off. Strikeout victim, his first time up. Brian's got 4 strikeouts and 2 walks. Talbot, a walk and 2 Ks. Mattis trying to get that leadoff batter number up a bit too. He's 56% retiring leadoff batters. He's gotten 2 out of 3 in this one. Try and get near that 70% mark. The 0-1 delivery. Not going to hit that one. 0-2.
Yeah, if Cleveland's going to win more games, they have to have Hafner, who had all kinds of shoulder problems, come back. I don't know if he's going to get back to where in 05 and 06 he hit 33 and 42 home runs, but he's got to start hitting home runs for him. I mean, he is a disciplined hitter.
He's only hitting .213 on the road to start the season. He's done well at home, but road-wise, no, and that was a problem for the Indians last year when they struggled on the road, getting only 30 wins in road games last season.
And he signed all the way through 2012.
1-2 delivery, and that got him, and he knew it. 5 strikeouts, 2 in a row.
Wow, great breaking ball. And Matt Wieters said that when he saw Brian Mattis in the minor leagues, he said you don't find too many young guys that can throw all 4 pitches, and that is a really good curveball. I mean, great late break. You don't see that out of the hand. That's why Hafner, he just gets caught looking.
So 1 down, and here's Peralta. He drew one of the 2 walks surrendered by Mattis in the ball game. Peralta with a 1 for 4 in the game last night, hitting at .229, and Brian Mattis will miss away to him, and the count's 2-0. Cleveland Ball Club, which started out slow offensively like the Orioles, has had some fairly hot bats. There's a great off-speed delivery. Orioles really held them down last night. The Indians got only 3 hits, as Jeremy Guthrie pitched an outstanding ball game, and Will Oman came on to get the final 3. Guthrie was just on the money.
Escaped the first and then was dominant. Back-to-back changeups. And the Indians have found out. They can give you all the scouting reports, but till you go up there with the bat and he runs the count, 2 balls way off the plate with fastballs, you're sitting, if you're Johnny Peralta, I know that fastball's coming. I know it's coming. Change up, swing through it. Now I know it's coming. Change up. Now you have no idea what he's going to throw there.
2-2 fastball, and he's gone. Wow. So Brian Mattis, 3 strikeouts in a row, 6 in the ball game. Time for the AT&T Mobility Trivia question. Who was the last player manager in the majors?
Frank Robinson.
Frank Robinson. Cleveland Indians.
76 maybe?
Answer is
Pete Rose.
Boy, we were so confident. We tried to sell it. I mean, I thought we were selling that pretty good.
But I wanted that, to be frank.
Yeah. Well, I understand. That's
because, I mean, you know, one of my teammates led us to the first World Series in '66. Well, you know, Hall of Famer.
But it wasn't him.
No.
No. Matt Laporta hitting at .207. Laporta popped out his first time up.
See, I figured it out that the obvious answer is not the answer.
They're tricking us.
No.
We're just not very good.
Exactly.
All right. That went into center field for a base hit. So Laporta is on with a 2-out single. 4 hits against Brian Mattis, and they all are of the single variety. The 3-game losing streak that Brian Mattis is in, it's the first time in his professional career, and it's been a short one, granted, that he's lost 3 in a row. He never lost consecutive decisions in the minors, and the 3 straight losses here. He'd like to end right now. That one to center. Jones coming. That's going to fall in for a base hit. So Lou Marson went after the first pitch, and the Indians have consecutive singles.
Yeah, he's going to have to stop breaking bats and let him hit it a little bit harder so he can get to the outfield. I mean, that's back to back. I mean, they put good swings on him, but they hit him up there by the trademark, and I think both Laporta and Marson were broken bats. Yeah.
What we're going to keep track of tonight, that opponent average on the first pitch when they put it in play, 2 for 2 tonight, and on the 1-0 count, 0 for 1 tonight, 13 for 26 against Madison his career. Well, let's see if they keep swinging at these first pitches. Trevor Crowe, he had a single his first time up. And all of a sudden the Indians, who are trailing here 1-0, have the potential time run at second base with 2 outs.
Well, Crowe put a very, very nice swing on a fastball away and just sliced it between first and second, kind of like a left-handed pull hitter would do.
And again, that'll be fouled off the other way.
Well, usually if you can hit the ball low and away, I know Mike Flanagan and I used to talk about this all the time. That's kind of an information pitch that he can cover the outside corner. And most guys, if you cover the outside corner, that means you usually can't hit the one in. Or maybe you have trouble with a changeup. Because if not, you're going to be contending for a batting title.
1 ball, 1 strike delivery, and the pitch will miss up high. Brian Matusz will stay up there. He is a fly ball pitcher. And you've seen the strikeouts he has accumulated here, 6 of them. He's gotten the swinging strikeouts on pitchers that are either at the top of the strike zone or a little above it. Trevor Crowe with a 2-1. Grounded that one to short. Force play at second. Wigginton there. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 are left on base. Marquez, Tejada, and Scott coming up. At the beach in Sarasota.
You know everything, don't you? You're amazing.
No, I have an iPhone.
It does.
It's the only reason I know nothing. But it says so right there. So.
Oh, really? Look at that.
Orioles have the 1-0 lead. Ty Wigginton, the home run. We're not only going to get Flanny a computer, we're going to get him an iPhone. How would that work, huh?
All at once?
All at once.
I don't know. A boy from New Hampshire, I'm not sure you could do that all in one day or one moment.
Yes, you can. You got to just immerse them in it. Those kids from New Hampshire. A 1-0 count. Marquez had to walk his first time up. Now I said that, I'm not going to get any more of that good honeycomb from his wife.
Let's hope the bees are buzzing. Not in Moncton.
Here's Mitch Talbot, the numbers 1 through 3. Get him early or don't get him. 2-0 delivery on the way, and that'll be popped up third base. Peralta. 1 away in the 4th inning.
Well, we'll go back to that thought. No, go ahead. No, Gary, you. No, what I was going to say about him, he's not a youngster. He's 26. He had an elbow sprain last year. 13 games, 2 years in a row at AAA. So he knows how to pitch, and I think that the numbers probably support that. He gets into more of a rhythm.
Let's see if the Orioles can upend those numbers here in the middle part of the ball game as we are in the fourth.
Well, our key, it was the real deal. I mean, he's only made one bad pitch. That was a hanging changeup, and Wigginton blasted it.
That one's going to be to left field off the bat of Tejada. It's going to stay in the yard.
Well, let's make it 2, and he got away with that one. Yeah.
Austin Kearns hauls it in. On Tuesday, May 25, don't miss Ollie's Bargain Night, presented by Ollie's Bargain Outlet. All upper reserve seats for the matchup with the A's, just $8 when purchased in advance. Hope you'll bring out all the family and friends and enjoy a night at Camden Yards. The tickets, 888-848-BIRD, Orioles.com. May 25. 2 down, nobody on here in the fourth. Here's Luke Scott. Luke grounded out his first time up. Raises his average to that 230 mark with a 5-game hit streak that he has going. He has hit .313 in May with 4 home runs this month. He saw some off-speed pitches in his first at bat.
Yeah, he really turned over a changeup, and he rolled over and grounded out to second. Well, if you've been looking at some of his last at bat, fastball's not a good idea unless you make the perfect pitch, and it better be in, not away. The grand slam on Thursday was about 2 inches off the outside corner. Now it was up, and he went the other way with it. But fastballs, he will hit them awfully hard and awfully far.
26-year-old right-hander Talbot will back off the mound.
Well, former number 2 draft choice, and he actually Aubrey Huff. He goes from Tampa to Houston, and that's how Tampa Bay got him. And he comes from Canyon View High in Cedar City, Utah, of the Mormon faith.
The elbow problem kept him out last year, so obviously this is a season for him where he tries to get back. He appeared in 15 games total with rehab assignments. AAA with 10 starts where he went 4-4. So, I mean, it was a rebuilding season last year because of that elbow. Now this is the year he wants to try and go through the season and put up some good numbers and a good start at 4-2.
I asked Tim Belcher, the pitching coach, did he make the club? He said, well, he was out of options, but he pitched very well in spring training.
3-1 delivery to Luke Scott, and he's going to get the free pass. All right, fourth drive of the game off the bat of Ty Wigginton came in the second inning.
Could take this forward and drive anywhere you want. That ball was hit so hard.
Didn't take long to get out of the park. Your local Ford dealer invites you to experience Ford like never before. Ford, drive one. Ty Wigginton will stand back in. Wigginton with 2 down and a runner on at first base. And Wigginton will take that slider on the outside corner for a strike. 11 home runs on the season for Wigginton, and he's had 10 of them against right-handed pitchers. .312 average against righties.
Well, it's preparation and hard work meeting opportunity to get to play every day.
0-1's outside, 1-1.
I mean, the Orioles are getting in, and the Oriole fans are getting to see a guy that hit 23 home runs and 388 bats 2 years ago with Houston. Never was able to show that last year. The last 2 months were pretty good, but not like this.
1 ball, 1 strike count. And Wigginton on another home run cut. Not this time, though, as that's down and away, 1-2.
Well, we saw him last night strike out the first 2 times, and then he was able to get 3 consecutive hits. And this was the pitch that Justin Masterson was able to throw. I mean, it was a devastating slider most of the time until Tejada took one up with the bases loaded to give the Orioles a 4-1 lead. It's an awfully effective pitch if you throw it in that area.
1-2 count. Scott off first base. Wigginton has hit very well here at Camden Yards so far this year. He's got the 6th best home average in the American League coming into today's play. .373 here in his home ballpark. big time number. And he, of course, with that power, right-handed, get out there in that short right field, left field wall, and that's where he drove the homer in this ball game. Here's the 1-2 delivery to him, and that one in the air to right center field. Crow will come over and put it away. No runs, no hits, no errors, and one left on base. 4 complete. Orioles up 1-0. More saving, more doing. That's the power of Home Depot and Brian Mattis.
Well, there you are, right there. He's when he's needed out, he's able to get it. You can see 7 base runners. He picked off Crow, who led off the 3rd inning. So and I have him as 0 for 2 with runners in scoring position. So he's made some big pitches.
And goes to work here with the 1-0 lead for the Orioles. Top of the order. Cabrera 0 for 2. So Cabrera's not had a hit in 6 at-bats in this series. Average starts to dip a little bit on him. He's been up around that 300 mark to start the year. Miguel Tejada will get the hop and the out. Hope you'll join the Orioles. University of Maryland Medical Center and the American Red Cross at the Baltimore Orioles blood drive. That's Saturday, May 22, 8 to 4 on the club level here at Camden Yards. Donors will get the chance to meet O's Hall of Famer Jim Palmer, receive replica jerseys of Jim's, 2 tickets to an upcoming game, even a chance to win a VIP experience with Jim. To make an appointment to donate, call 410-764-7000. May 22.
Next Saturday.
And a breaking ball is in for a strike.
Well, you're seeing one of the strengths of Brian Mattis, the ability to get all 4 pitches over. Now all of a sudden here in the 5th, started Cabrera over with a curveball, Grudalanics with a curveball. He hadn't really thrown that many tonight. And when he has, he's gotten some strikeouts at Hafner.
Mattis's career and season high is 8 strikeouts. He has struck out 8 in 2 ball games this year. And did it once last year. That's a fair ball in the foul territory. Grudalanics going to head to second base.
Well, you're going to be out if you do. Yeah.
And he'll go back to first.
I know Brian Mattis would say, hey, go. Miggy doesn't catch it, but he does deflect it. Looks like he's going to catch it, and it didn't quite get to it, and then scurries after it. And anybody that's watched Oriole baseball, whether he's playing shortstop or third, he's got a real strong arm.
So it will be a single. Grudalanic is on at first base. 1 away. Sin-Soo Choo singled and has drawn a walk. Against Mattis, he's been on twice. He goes after that first pitch and fouls it off. And Cleveland will try and make some hay here. They've left 4 on base, 2 in scoring position each of the last 2 innings. They've left a total of 6 on in the ball game. They've had somebody on every inning against Brian Mattis. Here's the 0-1 delivery. That'll be in the inside corner. And Chu behind on the count now. 2 strikes. Chu 7th in the American League in on base percentage. One of the reasons he's 9th in walks. That'll be taken up high. And a 1-ball 2-strike count.
Yeah, that was a purpose pitch. Change your eye level. If he executes this pitch, it will not be up. It will most likely be something swerving away from Chu. Well, maybe wrong. Weeder's in.
1-2 delivery. That to short is Turris. Wigginton. Atkins. No.
Yeah, it's Turris. Nothing on the throw. That's tailor-made, even though Chu does run well. He's their fastest guy, along with Grady Sizemore. Again, he's going to scurry down the line, but again, not much on the throw, so it takes Wiggy a long time to get it, and it keeps the inning alive in a 1-0 game. Well, you got to come get that ball and turn it.
Now there are 2 down. Here's Austin Kearns. Kearns has struck out twice. Inserted into the lineup here with that 6-game hit streak. Try and supply some power for the Indians against the left-hander, hitting .300 against him. But so far, Brian Mattis has controlled him.
Well, he's gotten him to swing when he gets ahead. It pitches out of the strike zone, which is a great way to pitch if you can do it.
That one's in there.
Well, right there. Just a little 2-seamer down and away. The one thing about Brian tonight, he's added and subtracted all night long. 89 away, up and in, 93, 94 on occasion.
Kearns the best road average on this Cleveland team at 383 of the regulars. Here's the 1-1 delivery to him, and that's on the inside corner, and he turns to home plate umpire Mark Wegman.
Well, you might as well give him a scalpel out there tonight. I mean, he's just cutting them up. The only thing that I don't like is you've got a 1-run lead, and anybody that's ever been out there knows how precarious that is.
2 walks, 6 strikeouts so far. And that'll be fouled away by Kearns. American League East ball games today. The Rays came from a 2-0 deficit to win by a score of 3-2 today against Seattle. The Yankees got a big win today again against Detroit, and Toronto picked up another win today, 6-0 over Texas. So the top 3 teams, Tampa Bay, New York, and Toronto, have all won today. 1-2 delivery off the fifth, second base. Wigginton. That's got spin, but he gets the throw. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. Brian Mattis protecting the 1-0 lead. Rookie. 1-2-0 for the Orioles. The Wigginton home run is the run. 0-6-0 for the Indians. Cleveland's left 7. The Orioles 2 on base. We go to the bottom half of the 5th inning. Wieters, Atkins, and his Turris coming up. Wieters chops that one foul. 279 right-handed, 265 left for him. 4 home runs on the year, and 3 have been hit from the left side of the plate, although for the most part those home runs from this side of the plate have been opposite field homers.
Yeah, as we mentioned, not a lot of balls up in the zone from Mitch Talbot tonight.
1-1 delivery, and he stays right down there.
Right, just that sinking fastball away, and then when you go to cover the outside corner, he cuts it in. And then he's got the great changeup. It tumbles down away, at least to lefties, and that's the one that Wigginton took advantage of when it hung.
Here's the 1-2 delivery, and that one in the air to center field. Just missed to get under it. Crow back there, and will put it away. One away. That'll bring up Atkins. Join Orioles Reach in the Maryland Food Bank. It's the 24th annual Orioles Food Drive, June 4, 5, 6. You can bring donations, non-perishable food to the ballpark, and there's a virtual food drive at marylandfoodbank.org/Orioles. There you can enter to win some free tickets as well. Hope you'll join in. It benefits soup kitchens, food pantries, emergency shelters. 888-848-BIRD for info. That one in the air to left center field. That's in the gap, and that's going to take a hop off the base of the wall. Second base, Atkins, the throw, not in time, a double.
Well, there you go. Jared Atkins, the good average in May, hitting over 300 to 310, but not hitting a lot of extra base hits, especially home runs. So looking for number 1. But they got him because he can drive the ball. And that ball, what, about a foot from just a two-seamer. This one runs back in the middle of the plate, and it gets hammered. Almost goes out of here.
So Atkins gets the double, and the Orioles get an RBI chance with only 1 away. As Turris has grounded out, looking for his first hit in his last 11 at-bats. And he will foul it away off Talbot. Well, the Orioles trying to add to the lead. Bottom half of the 5th inning. As Turris, despite the fact his overall average has continued to dip, when he's had an RBI chance, he's gotten 4 for 19. And he's had runners in scoring position. 0-1 delivery to him, and that's a bloop to right field. That's got a chance, and that falls in for a base hit. Ball gets bobbled, picked up by Chu. Stopping at third base will be Atkins. And a base hit for his Turris to end the 0 for 11.
Yeah, Chu throws real well. I mean, a little cutter. This is that cut fastball. He fights it off. Probably broke his bat. And then Chu trying to get to it. Lost the ball in the lights last night. This time he gets it on the short hop. And wants him well because I don't think Atkins got a very good jump. Holds him.
So Corey Patterson will again get to play a big role in the game. First and third, 1 out. He's only had 1 chance with a runner in scoring position so far. This is only his 4th game.
Yeah, they have really stayed inside on Corey Patterson tonight. So again, they're looking for a double play. They're in at third. Peralta would probably come home because of Patterson's speed.
0 for 2 on ground balls tonight, and Talbot is a ground ball pitcher, so he'll try and get that sinker working right here.
Well, we've seen Corey already in 3 games. He's been able to hit the ball to the right side. So because of his Turris speed, you have Matt Laporta playing right with the bag. So there is a nice little avenue, a little driveway right out into right field.
1-0 count, throw over. As Turris back to the bag.
And of course, Lou Marson's already decided if Turris goes, you don't have much speed in Atkins at third. If they throw through, one of the middle infielders is going to cut it off.
1-0 count. And that'll be fouled back. Patterson trying to push one out into left field that time.
Yeah, chased the ball too.
And a 1-1 strike count. Orioles and Indians not many chances tonight against these 2 pitchers.
Well, this is certainly one of them, Gary, as you know, and the pressure is on Talbot because a fly ball of any depth is going to score a run. And of course, as you mentioned, he's trying to get a grounder. Corey's trying to get something to elevate it, but make it be a strike.
He's given up 4 fly ball outs in the ball game. Talbot has. Runner goes. Here's the throw through, and they got him. So as Torres trying to steal a base, Lou Marson throws him out. He's 2 for 2 against the Orioles tonight.
Well, they are now 1 and 5 trying to steal bases against Mitch Talbot. I mean, you cannot throw the ball any better than this. Look at it, right on the money, tailing into the slide. It takes a perfect throw, and that's exactly what they get.
Marson started the day 2nd in the American League percentage-wise, throwing out base stealers, and he's added to it.
What great camera work, showing that ball tailing right into the glove.
Corey Patterson the cut, and it's 2 and 2. So now Patterson's got to deliver a base hit. Runner at third, 2 down. Thrown out earlier in the ball game, Jones. And in this inning is Torres. 2 and 2, 2 away. Talbot looks, uses the full windup. And that will be blocked. Nice play by Marson to hold that one underneath his glove.
Yeah, that was a screwball changeup that he throws to lefties and righties. The ball goes straight down. Nice block by Marson. Watch this ball just turn over and dive. And right there, just kept it in front of him.
Amazing that Talbot has not thrown a wild pitch this year with that sinker that he uses.
Well, do you get an idea? Maybe that's why Marson's catching, because he's a good defensive guy.
3-2. Corey Patterson in the air, center field. And that's going to do it. So the attempted steal, costly to the Orioles. No runs, couple of hits, and a runner left on. Still 1-0 O's. By AT&T, rethink possible. And by Wendy's. Buy a boneless wings combo at Wendy's and get a scratch and scorecard. Win great prizes from the Orioles and Wendy's. Wendy's, you know when it's real. Real pitching duel here tonight. Brian Mattis, the 1-0 lead on the Wigginton home run, 1-4-0, 0-6-0 on the other side for the Indians, with Mitch Talbot on the mound. Here's Travis Hafner. Strikeout victim twice. The designated hitter, who has been on a pretty good tear. He's been on base 20 of the last 35 plate appearances coming into the game. Came in with 11 hits and 26 at bats. 1-0 pitch to him. That's going to be foul tipped into the mitt, and 1-1.
Well, there you have it. Gruzelanek with a couple of singles, all singles again, and that's how you keep them off the base. Plus, they're 0 for 2 with runners in scoring position. Big story, a lot of strikeouts, 6 strikeouts tonight for Brian Mattis.
1-1 delivery, and that's just going to miss inside.
82 pitches, though. That's got to be a little bit of a concern. About 16 pitches an inning. which is really not that much, but if you multiply it by 7, it gets you out of the game.
Which is what the Indians want to do.
Yep.
2-1 delivery on the way, and that's going to be sliced to left center field. Patterson will play it. Travis Hafner is on, and he's got a single. Brian Mattis discovering earlier this week that working on the mound is really not such a bad job after all. He visited engine company number 4, donned the fire equipment, and went to work, and discovered that inside that stuff it's pretty darn hot, and that hose, when you turn the water on, is kind of hard to control, and you can't take your hat off. So he's got some fans who are cheering for him tonight at engine company 4.
And he wasn't even in the fire zone.
No. They weren't going to let that happen.
I hope he was doing that fire hydrant with his right hand. I learned that from Harry the Capricorn was my first pitching coach. Great left-handed pitcher. He said, do everything left-handed. And of course, Brian's left-handed. Do everything right-handed.
Peralta to short as Torres, nice pick. Wigginton 1, relay, double play. As Torres with a nice start to that one.
Well, this time it's hit very sharply, so he just has to take a step to his right. We already, on the opening play of the game, made a nice play. So right there, get it to Wigginton, who is really getting more comfortable turning the double play.
I can do that, he said. Looking
I
over
did that.
Tejada. So Mattis gets the help of the D. That eliminates the leadoff single. 2 quick outs. Here's Laporta. He has singled and popped out in the ball game. He's first ball hitting. Brian Mattis will say thank you very much. Goes to center field, and that gets him out with one of those quick innings that can keep you in a ball game for an inning longer. Orioles still have a 1-0 lead. Camden Yards. Great house on hand, and they're seeing a heck of a ball game here. The home run by Wigginton that came in the second inning still holding up. And a 7-pitch inning in the 6th for Brian Mattis will help the cause of holding him in.
Yeah, there you go. Wigginton now 1 for 2. A hanging changeup. He pulverized at the left field. Atkins with a double. And then, of course, what they have done for Mitch Talbot is he controls the running game. They've thrown out both guys to try to steal, Jones and Izturis, and that's made a difference. The Orioles might have added another run last inning.
Orioles have not had a leadoff man on in the 5 innings. Talbot came in retiring 68% of leadoff batters. Good number.
Yeah, the only count that he really struggles in is after 3 balls and 1 strike. And you're hoping you'll get some of those. There have not been. He got a ball up to Tejada. He hung the change up to Wigginton, and almost everything else has been really well executed tonight. And that's why the Orioles only have 4 hits.
2-0 count on Jones, a single, and he has struck out. We saw Talbot earlier stay in the windup with a runner on at third base, because when bases are empty, you hit only 228 off him. He gets into that stretch and he goes up to 283. So if you can get somebody on here, you got a better chance. Jones is trying to draw a walk as he takes it, and the count goes to 3-1.
Yeah, I always would be, I think, early in my career out of the windup, and then you find out that to be a successful pitcher, you have to figure out how to pitch out of the stretch. And when you get speed at third base, it's more comfortable to pitch from a stretch position.
Yep. 3-1 delivery to Adam Jones, and he fouls it off the end of the bat.
Yeah, see, that's a pitcher's pitch that if Adam takes that, he goes down to first base. He leads off the inning with a base on balls, and hopefully as the season progresses, again, this is only a young player, turned 25 in August, that is in his third major league. But you have to know when you lead off, whether you're hitting second where he's more comfortable, you're still a leadoff hitter in that inning. Take the walk, try to get on the board and score some runs.
3-2 delivery. Talbot comes back on him and gets the comeback. There's a big out right there. One away, sixth. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Orioles may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Orioles. Mitch Talbot has pitched against the Orioles only once before. In fact, it was his first major league start, his second appearance, September of 08, and it was here in this ballpark. Did not receive a decision for Tampa Bay in a 7-5 Rays win. Pitch is taken outside. Markakis a walk, and he is popped out.
Well, this is an illustration of trading for and then developing a young pitcher, and then for Tampa Bay they needed a catcher. They went out and got Kelly Shoppage, and this is how he ended up in Cleveland.
Markakis the eye, and it's outside, and again Talbot starts the hitter off with a 2-0 count. Nick down to 299 now. He's had one hit, 5 at bats in this series so far. Of course, it will continue tomorrow. Will it be a rubber match or a chance for the Orioles to sweep? David Hernandez and Jake Westbrook are the scheduled starters. 1:30 game time. The two skippers up and watching. 3-0 delivery on the way, and just laid in there by Talbot, and it goes to 3-1.
Yeah, pretty nice matchup. Westbrook, because of Tommy John surgery, he hadn't won in 2 years, and then Hernandez still looking for that elusive win, not only this year, but he's lost like 9 or 10 decisions in a row.
3-1 delivery, and there's a rainmaker to second base. Shortstop. Cabrera calls for it and puts it away, and there are 2 down here in the 6th inning. That's a major league pop-up.
Oh, yeah.
So a 2 away, Miguel Tejada will come up. Tejada's had an 0 for 2 in the ball game. He has popped out and flied out at 283 now on the season.
Well, I know Jim Hunter, who does our pregame, postgame, does some of the games. He picked him as his player of the game because he thought, because I told him, figured he's going to get maybe a little bit of a boost from that big hit he got last night. He did have a pitch he could have hit out of here. One of the few mistakes that Talbot's made, a high slider.
Tejada's 261 off the righties, 364 off left-handers so far this year. 0-1 count. And he'll have to wait. Tejada with a couple of home runs each way, righties, lefties. Miggy here in this ballpark now, returning to the Orioles. He's got 71 home runs here at Camden Yards lifetime, with a 321 career average in this yard. That one in the air to right field. Chu puts it away. So the ground ball pitcher gets some balls in the air to take a couple out here in the 6th. 1-0 O's.
horse racing fans, but I found one fan of horses in general. Kevin Millwood grew up in North Carolina on a chicken farm. When he grew up and went to the minor leagues, he needed a job in the off season, so he worked at a horse farm. He would take customers on trail rides. He would clean the horses, clean the stables. Said he grew an appreciation for the animals. I asked him, though, how he felt about chickens. He said, I hate chickens. Gary?
That's good. I like it.
Yeah, well, what else can you say?
Well, I can understand that. Yep. We go to the 7th.
I guess he's no Wade Boggs.
No.
Boggs never played a game where he didn't have some kind of chicken.
Well, if you hate chickens, you actually may eat them every day.
Yeah. Good point.
1-0 delivery is swung on and missed. Marson leading it off. He is single and grounded out. Crow and then Cabrera. 8, 9, and 1 in the order.
Well, this is the time of the game with a 1-0 lead where you really, and you mentioned it earlier, about focusing on getting the lead off hitter off. Keep them off base if you can, because they're going to probably play for one run now that you get into the 7th inning.
Yep.
They'll give you an out, but they're of course trying to do that to get the game tied or maybe go ahead.
Marson, just 23 years old, out of Scottsdale, Arizona. Pitch is going to be taken up high. Major League at bats, only 65 coming into the season, getting his chance this year, along with Mike Redmond as the two catchers.
We got young and old.
Yep. Veteran Redmond.
Yeah.
Here's the 3-1 delivery on the way, and that'll be looped down the line in right. And nobody ends up in that Bermuda Triangle in foul territory. Markakis, Wigginton, and Atkins all there.
Probably he might have made a sliding effort if nobody's there. I think probably worried about running into somebody, sliding into somebody, spiking somebody.
So that will extend the at bat, give Marson a chance here leading it off. One leadoff single in the 3rd, another in the 6th. 3rd inning, it was Crow, and he was caught stealing. 6th inning, the single by Hafner. He was doubled up. Those are the two leadoff batters who have reached in the ball game. 3-ball, 2-strike count. Lou Marson waiting, and the fastball is down low. So a leadoff walk here in the 7th inning. Vote for your favorite O's for the 10 All-Star game at Orioles.com, and you could win a Vote Orioles VIP Experience All-Star Sweepstakes. Lucky winner's going to get 4 tickets. Upcoming game, VIP parking, passes to watch BP on the field, meet and greet with the All-Stars, and a personalized All-Star game batting jersey. Go to Orioles.com/All-Star for complete details. So now Mattis will have to bear down that leadoff walk. Look for the bunt. They do. Crow showed bunt, took the pitch away for a ball. 3 walks surrendered in the ball game by Brian Mattis. Trevor Crow called up today, getting a base hit. First appearance at the major league level this year, and his 2nd time he hit into a fielder's choice. And let's see if he's going to bunt. Tejada stays in at 3rd. 1-0 delivery. He does square, takes it down low. Wieters finds it in the feet of Crow, which would make it Crow feet. And it goes to 2-0. You can hear everybody going, oh, God. I agree.
Why would they say that?
I have no idea. Here's the 2-0 delivery, and that'll be fouled back into the screen.
Yeah, now they probably may come back and bunt again. I think it's a good play. I used to see Hank Bauer, my first manager, he would let guys after a bunt. Steve Smith giving the signs down to 3rd, and then he figured get into a cash spot to give you one chance to maybe with the infield coming in to take a shot, maybe get a big inning and not only get the time run but the lead run on.
And whether he meant it or not, Crow, as soon as Mattis threw over, pushed his hand up to the top of the bat intentionally. Whether he intends to bunt or not, but he wants the Orioles thinking about it. Tejada's moved back.
Yeah, I don't think I'd go that far back. You still got to play even with the bag.
Another throw over, and again Crow just slides his hand up the bat.
And Miggy way back. If he makes a good bunt down the 3rd baseline.
That base hit.
Yeah. Yeah, see, he's the guy I worry about. The guy at first is the tying run, and you worry about the run that's going to give them the lead.
2-1 delivery, and he did not show bunt, and gets ahead on the count here. Now 3-1.
Well, the pitch count in the middle 90s, and every one, because of the scoreboard, has meant so much tonight. There's the average. He's right at that average right now.
Danny Acta, let's see what he called here. 3-1 delivery, let him swing. Mattis made the pitch, and the count goes to 3-2.
Now do you run?
Sandy Alomar Jr. talking to the base runner at first as they both look over to get the sign.
And I would imagine that Sandy Alomar Jr. is saying make sure he goes home, because I would be very surprised if Mattis doesn't throw to first here. Nope.
And walked him. So back-to-back walks, 4 in the game, and he's walked the 8 and 9 hitters, and again in a game. The two guys at the bottom of the order come, at least for the moment, to play a big part in a Brian Mattis start. Kranitz tagging to Dave Tremblay will come out. The bullpen has been warming up. Here's what we were talking about earlier. The 8 and 9 hitters this season with that 485 average compared to 152 last year. And in this ball game they have reached. Marston's been on with a single and a walk, and Crow's been on with a single and a walk. And the top of the order, Cabrera coming up.
This is a discussion how we want to play this, because I don't think they really know whether Cabrera will bunt or not.
So they align the defense as they want to do here, and we'll see how the Orioles play this defensively and how they go at it from the Indian side. Cabrera's not had a hit yet in the series. He's 0 for 7. But obviously one of the best bats in the league, hitting at 287.
Yeah, and he comes in hitting just about the same from both righty and lefty.
He does show bunt and will take a strike. Orioles coming in at the corners, sending his Turris over to second base. Let's see if he will try it again. He leads the team with 5 sacrifices. Cabrera does 5 of the 11, and he bunts it fair, plays it first to Hada. Will get it over to Wigginton. So a sacrifice, 6 on the year, moves the 2 runners into scoring position.
Well, this is what it's all about. Small ball. Not a great bunt, but he certainly gets it down, and then Takata with no other play. So you got Rudolph coming up, and you got a guy, a contact hitter.
He's 368 with runners in scoring position, 7 out of 19 on the year. The infield's going to play in. Orioles have a 1-0 lead. Runners at second and third, 1 out. Grid Solonic, strike 1. This ball game, the pitchers have dominated, so each team's had only 2 chances with runners in scoring position.
And how often do you ever see an infield with a 1-run lead play in with the go-ahead run at second base?
Very rarely.
They're just Dave Tremblay's hoping that Mattis can do what he normally does, and there's another back-to-back changeups. But again, you got a young pitcher and a veteran hitter. Waved at the first one, laid off the second one.
Grid Solonic with a 5-game hit streak he extended in this game. He's already picked up 2 singles and a strikeout. Yeah, but 1-1 delivery to him. Misses.
Where they can go if they can get ahead, and what Mattis does so well is, and we saw him do this in New York to get Derek Jeter on his way to 3,000 hit, is to be able to run the ball inside.
Marston, I'm 99% sure is not going to run on contact here. He's not a speedy runner, the lead runner at third. 2-1 delivery, foul back. Grid Solonic is trying to pop one over the infield, drawn in at this point. Fly ball, anything will get Marston in with only 1 away. And the Orioles playing back a couple of steps now, not all the way in. 2-ball, 2-strike delivery on the way. That one down the line and right. Nick Markakis, runner tagging. Markakis throw, and they'll hold him at third. A perfect throw by Nick Markakis.
Well, that would have been a dead engine. Would have got him right there. See, that's what scouting report's all about. A good pitch, you play him shallow, couple of steps, and then a BB on one hop. Nice fake by Lou Marson. No chance of scoring.
And a very big second out.
But see, if your advanced scouts don't tell you that he hits the ball that way and doesn't drive the ball, you're not playing there. Well, just the little things. Nick was talking about that the other day, about the fact that even in that comeback inning in the 8th inning, just him sliding into second base and breaking up a double play. The little things is what Dave Tremblay tried to get this club to focus on.
Now Sin-Soo Choo, 2 down, 2 in scoring position. He is their best hitter in these situations. He is 4 for 7 with runners in scoring position and 2 away this year. And a contact hitter and a tough out at the plate.
Well, you do have first base open. So you either make your pitch, take your chances, and then pitch to Kearns.
Chu will ground that one to second base. His Torres up, makes the play, and gets the out. And a great job by Brian Mattis. Couple left on. 7th inning stretch time, brought to you by Jack Daniel's Tennessee Whiskey. Please drink. Looks like that's going to be it for Brian Mattis. As Rick Kranitz, the pitching coach, comes over to shake his hand. Oriole bullpen was up in that last half inning.
Well, Gary, what did they say in spring training? They want even the young guys like Mattis to go a little bit longer. It would have been very easy to go to the bullpen there. So the pitch count, we get to right around 105. He makes some great pitches and pitches himself out of a jam.
29,545, 29,545, the announced attendance. Seeing a heck of a ball game here tonight. Luke Scott will lead it off. He has drawn a walk and grounded out.
And you're hoping that, again, pitching, especially when you're in close games, it's an emotional roller coaster. You know, Mitch Talbot's sitting over there going, boy, we're going to get some runs. Well, he didn't get runs. And you have to go out there and refocus and calm everything down. We'll see if he's able to do that.
1-0 delivery. Scott will foul it off. Luke trying to continue the 5-game hit streak that he has going and the hot tear that he has been on, especially with the long ball. He's gone 9 for 22 during the streak. 3 homers, 8 RBIs in the last 5 games. He scored a run in 3 consecutive ball games, and he's had 3 consecutive multi-hit games. 1-1 delivery on the way to him, and Scott will take it inside under the arms. 2-ball, 1-strike count.
Talbot has only thrown 82 pitches, so very, very efficient to this point.
Talbot has a complete game to his credit. He tossed a complete game against the White Sox in an Indians 6-2 win in his second start of the year. That is there, and a 2-ball, 1-strike count. So crunch time here, bottom of the 7th inning. The Orioles have made that home run by Wigginton in the 2nd inning stand up against Talbot and the Indians. 2-2 delivery to Scott. Ground ball to second base. Sinker back. And one away in the bottom of the 7th. Time to text in your vote for the AT&T Player of the Game. Here are the candidates tonight. Brian Mattis looking for his 3rd win. Wigginton with a home run, the only run on the board. And Talbot, who has given it up but has pitched effective baseball. You can text in your vote A, B, or C to 51862.
What's the irony here? What does Brian Mattis do? He spends a day with the Baltimore City Fire Department, and now he's going to have to depend on a fireman to come in because the bullpen's coming in the 8th and 9th.
Ty Wigginton. Wiggy with a home run, number 11. And the team leading 23 RBIs for him. 1-0 delivery on the way. Slider's going to miss outside to him. Matt Albers has been ready in the bullpen for an inning or more. So he got up the throw during that last inning. Wigginton has hit 5 of the last 8, 324 clip. 4th in slugging percentage, and has he got another one way back? Will it stay fair? And goodbye, home run! A multi-homer game for Ty Wigginton, and the Orioles take a 2-0 lead.
Well, Wiggy's a veteran, and you know what he's thinking when the count gets to 2-0. He's thinking, am I going to get a pitch that I can hammer? Look at this ball inside the middle. And he's not missing these pitches. He loves to hit here at Camden Yards, and why not? And Burns can't get to it, about 2 feet over his head.
12 homers on the year, popped up by Wieters outside of 3rd base. And that will be played by Peralta for the out. So Matt Wieters an 0 for 3 in the game, with the Orioles with a 2-0 lead on the offense of Ty Wigginton so far tonight.
Yeah, you need a lot of runs, and the only reason I say that is when Albers was warming up last night, you look at the numbers, he hasn't pitched since the 8th of May. That's a week ago. So again, no action. So again, you get some runs, and you hope he comes in and does what he can do best, which is to sink the ball.
2 down, and Garrett Atkins stands in. Wigginton had a multi-homer game earlier against Tampa Bay, Neiman and Soriano, and against Boston, Matsuzaka and Wakefield. So Ty Wigginton has 3 multi-homer ball games, 2 homer games this year. And the ones tonight are the only runs on the board. Garrett Atkins a double, and he is flying out to center. Atkins will foul that one off. Wiggy's first one traveled 414 feet, well back. That one 362 to make it into the seats. And Talbot came in having surrendered 5 home runs in the season, has given up 2 in this ball game.
And getting lefties out better than righties, and the righties, at least Wigginton, has done them in.
1-2 delivery on the way is swung on and missed. Atkins goes down, 3rd strikeout for Talbot, but Ty Wigginton with another multi-homer game has put the Orioles up by a score of 2-0. brought to you by DynCorp International. We serve today for a safe tomorrow. By Cisco Federal, a proud mission partner in the United States Department of Defense. By Panasonic Solutions Company, enhancing government through innovative technology. And by Navy Federal Credit Union. We serve where you serve. We hear tonight's game on Masson in celebration of Armed Forces Day throughout the nation. The United States Armed Forces, the overall unified military forces, consist of the Army, Navy, Marine Corps, Air Force, and Coast Guard. We want to extend to all past and current members of the U.S. Armed Forces a thank you for their work and dedication in protecting our country. Army, Matt Albers.
Well, you hope he's armed, don't you? He hadn't pitched again in a week. Again, very effective against righties.
That one put in the air by Austin Kearns, right center field. Markakis back, and he's got a pitch and an out as Kearns is retired. Ty Wigginton, who had a total of 11 home runs last season for the Orioles, has already surpassed that with the 2 homers he's picked up in this ball game with a dozen. Lugo playing at second. And Albers looks like he's going to get one out and out.
Briefly and effective.
Travis Hafner, the left-handed DH, is waiting. So Matt Albers gets a third of an inning and zeros across. And the old man, Will Oman, is on his way in to face.
Head, and then he makes some great pitches. Grudalancic is having a great year. He gets him out, and then Chu, one of their best players, he gets him to bounce out, and then you get the extra run on the home run by Wigginton. Now Will Oman, who gets righties and lefties out, you hope he comes in and pitches the way he's been pitching.
Travis Hafner's faced him once. He is 1 for 1 off Will Oman. Hafner has struck out twice and singled in the ball game. So the Orioles staff now with that extra run about keeping anybody off base here so you don't bring the potential tying run to the plate. Will Oman has been effective against both right and left-handers on the season for the Orioles. The bullpen outstanding here since May 2nd. Only Tampa Bay has a better ERA for their pen than do the Orioles. 1-1 delivery to Travis Hafner, and that'll be taken.
See, when I see those numbers, and they were nice enough as to send that note this morning, I'm figuring, did something bad happen on May 1st?
Yeah, probably. Because if you put May 1st, then it'll go up to 8.2. So no, I don't know.
I want all the information. Like if you read press guides, they go, so-and-so, he finished third in on-base percentage. Well, they don't tell you who was first and second.
What the difference was.
Yeah, you just would.
Well, that's why numbers.
I mean, I'm sure I can. Actually, I will do a little look at the score of the game on May 1st. Maybe they didn't play that day.
All right. 2-2 delivered. That ball's popped up. There'll be no play on it.
Let's see. Boston. Well, now I see why. The Orioles won, but they won 12-9.
On May 1.
On May 1. But they won. So even if they weren't good, it doesn't matter. They won.
Got the W. Here's Ty Wigginton. All smiles. 2-home run ball game. His third 2-home run ball game of the year. Here's the 2-2 delivery to Hafter. And did he go? Check at third. No. Jerry Meals. Close. Hafner with the 2 strikeouts in this game and the single. Then Peralta. And if it goes that far, Laporta scheduled up. Hafner still got muscle and dangerous to hit the long ball.
And the other factor is, again, we talked about it, he will take the walk with the best of them.
And he does.
Yep.
And that's just what Will Oman did not want to see happen.
Well, that's why it's a big gamble when you bring Oman in, because if you're Dave Tremblay, you come out, you took Albers, who's lights out against righties. So with a 2-run lead, you've gambled that Oman's going to get him out. Now, with Koji comes in, he did not throw the ball very well the other night. Stuff was very, very average.
So a real matchup here as Albers has worked only one batter. Garden, Williamsburg. Celebrate the world we share. So a tight ball game. Late into it, Coach Uehara will come out of the bullpen as Oman talking with Rick Kranitz, the pitching coach, after he came on and surrendered the walk to Travis Hafner.
Yeah, I'm sure he's disappointed. That's now 8 in 12 innings to go along with 9 hits, and it's the last thing he wanted to do. Koji, we saw him the other night. He was not very effective, did not throw the ball very well. Gave up a hit based on balls, and he did get Jose Lopez to just hit a long fly ball about a foot short of being a 3-run home run, but he came in with a 5-1 lead. So now they get the tying run at the plate.
And Peralta will stand in and takes the breaking ball for a strike. Peralta's had a walk, struck out, and hit into a double play. Uehara would love to be able to get one of those right here.
Yeah, I haven't seen that was a splitter that just kind of floated up there. He hasn't been able, and I don't know if it's arm speed or whatever, to really throw it as effectively as last year.
Fastball will be fouled off right side.
Even though I will say that's pretty good. He hit a great pitch.
Gets ahead on the count. Allowed an earned run, third of an inning against Seattle after pitching a couple of scoreless at Minnesota, and he came in for the first time against the Twins, joining the ball club during the road trip in Minnesota.
Well, it's kind of like spring training for him in a sense. You know, he did have the rehab, but not a lot of innings.
0-2 delivery on the way. Reached for and fouled off outside of third. What Dave Tremblay likes Koji Uehara about him is the fact that he has so many pitches that he throws from different angles, has kind of funky deliveries that vary, and for an inning can keep hitters timing off if he's on. Here's the 0-2 pitch, fastball away, and a 1-ball 2-strike count.
And for Yamayuri in 2007, he did have 32 saves. So this is not like it's not a save situation, but he's pitched out of the bullpen before and very effectively.
1-2 strike count. Runner at first base, popped up off the end of the bat. Shortstop. Patterson, left fielder coming in. Corey Patterson, a long run, but he's gone. So Peralta's retired, and there are 2 down.
Yeah, I think he assumed that, and that's not what you want to do, that it's Duras, and Duras is saying, "Where are you, Corey?" And then
I'm coming.
There we go. They're both smiling, but somebody go get it.
Russell Branyan will be the pinch hitter. Branyan for Laporta. Laporta had a 1-for-3 in the ball game with a single. Branyan brings that power bat to the plate. 3 home runs and 7 RBIs. He will also strike out, and Rick Kranitz is going to go out and make sure that they know what they want to throw here. Branyan has 21 strikeouts and 5 walks.
Yeah, he hit all 3 home runs on Tuesday and Wednesday with 5 RBIs against Kansas City. Big, strong guy. He pitched him very well last night. Of course, Jeremy Guthrie was pitching just about everybody extremely well. So get on the right page,
Members of the press will wonder if Koji can actually speak English. You saw Rick Kranitz out there, and I guarantee you he wasn't speaking Japanese. And he did not need a translator. It's a great way to avoid the press, though. Don't speak English. 2 down. Russell Branyan.
Well, I told him 1979 sideburns, and he knew exactly what I was talking
absolutely.
about.
He has a great sense of humor. Koji's, he appears so stoic and quiet professionally on the mound, but in the clubhouse, he keeps guys loose. And is taken inside for a ball. So Branyan up as the pinch hitter this year. He's had 2 chances, 0 for 2. 3 home runs, 7 RBIs, and 3 doubles. They play behind Travis Hafner at first base. Atkins back. And a big cut by Branyan, and 1-1.
Well, tremendous strength, strikes out, as you mentioned, awfully off.
He was signed as a free agent in February this year. Started season on the DL. Came off April 20. Thought about going after that pitch away and doesn't. And a 2-ball, 1-strike count. Branyan would be followed. Due up the catcher Lou Marson if it goes that far.
And he's a home run guy. 31 of them last year for Seattle.
2-1 delivery.
There you go.
Cut,
I think that's the other thing that Dave Tremblay was kind of relying on. It, we talk about being predictable. Koji's not, unless you're going to predict a low and away split-fingered fastball. He threw that one extremely well.
2-2, 2 down. And even Koji reacted to that one, which he never does. He jumped up in the air.
The Indians love this call, but this has been called a strike. Maybe a shade low. Like Peralta was called out on a pitch lower than that.
Runner goes 3-2 and walked him. So the 2 base runners for the Indians here in the 8th inning have come via the walk. O'Hara surrenders that one. Down to second base goes Hafner.
That's 6 of them tonight.
Who does not hit left-handers, so didn't start the game, will come on as a pinch hitter against the right-hander. So the Indians making it interesting here in the 8th, down 2-0. Have 2 on and 2 down. Larson had a single and a walk. He was 1 for 2 in plate appearances, but the veteran Sizemore hitting at just .208, no home runs, 12 RBIs. He's not had an at-bat as a pinch hitter this season. For Sizemore this year, 106 against lefties and 269 off right-handers.
And another power guy, speedster. When he's healthy, and he wasn't healthy last year, had elbow surgery.
So Grady Sizemore stands in, 2 on, 2 down. The Orioles have a 2-0 lead. Ty Wigginton, 2 home runs in the game, accounting for them. Koji wanted Wieters to go through the signs again with Hafner out there at second base. Outfield deep. Sizemore will take the first pitch for a strike. Orioles just the 1 for 2, but the Indians the 0 for 4. Indians have stranded a couple of base runners in the 3rd, 4th, and 7th innings. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Uehara outside with it, 1 ball and 1 strike.
Yeah, you go back and look at this inning when Albers comes in and gets the first batter out, and all of a sudden you match up with Ullman. You lose up your matchup left-hander out of the bullpen, even though you have a 2-run lead.
Good fastball, blew that one by him, and a 1 ball 2 strike count.
So Manny Actis says, well, at least I get the matchups I want here. Whether they get the hits or not, that's going to be the question.
Oriole fans plotting for the K. Here's the 1-2 delivery, and that's foul back.
Nice little pitch there, and it's going to set up the splitter. The ability, and we saw Koji last year as a starter, it seemed like when he would get the 4th to 5th inning, he might struggle, but out of the bullpen, if he can be able to repeat that splitter, keep it down, that's going to get a lot of ground balls and strikeouts.
Here's the 1-2 delivery. Swung out and missed. Struck him out. So Koji Uehara comes on and gets it done. No runs, no hits. 2 are left on base. We go to the bottom half of going to the bottom half of the 8th inning. Russell Branyan will stay in the ball game. He'll be at first base, and Mike Redmond will come in behind the plate. So the Orioles will try and add to the 2-0 lead. It has been a Ty Wigington offensive night against Mitch Talbot, with 3 walks and a couple of strikeouts for the Indian starter. His Torres got out of the 0 for he had with a single. That came in the 5th inning. His first hit after going 0 for 11. Batting at .208. 1-0 delivery. And that's going to be taken outside. And a 2-0 count on his Torres. Talbot trying to hang in there and hope that the Indians can find a way to get some runs that can be credited to him. They've left 11 on base in the ball game. The Orioles have stranded only 3.
Yeah, pitch count at the mid-90s, and that's what they'll look at.
Sip.
Yeah, Sip has been outstanding. One of the 3 guys they have at the back end of the bullpen.
His Torres to second base. With Solana over to Brandon. And there's one away here in the bottom half of the 8th inning. Our Chili's Game Flow brought to you by Chili's. It's all in the preparation. It's been dominated by the pitchers in this ball game. Is Brian Mattis the starter, and Mitch Talbot starter for Cleveland. They've not made many mistakes. Talbot's paid for him with Wigginton hitting the 2 home runs. On the other side of it, Brian Mattis able to find the big outs when needed. And they've dominated this ball game.
That's what Wiggy told me down the cage. It's all about the preparation.
It is. He would know that. He's a preparation kind of guy.
It was tonight. In fact, the first 2 months of the year.
1-0 delivery on the way. Patterson in the air. Center field, maybe? Yes. Crow didn't see it at first. Found it and came over and makes the play. 2 down in the 8th.
Well, we always used to talk about when complete games were in vogue, the CGLs. And the only way you can pitch a complete game loss is if you go out and get them out in the bottom of the 8th and then do exactly what you said. Go out, sit on the bench, hope they get a couple of runs. Maybe you don't get a complete game loss then.
He's had one complete game win against the White Sox this year. In this, the 7th start of the season. He's got 2 down here. Adam Jones. Adam is singled, 1 for 3 in the ball game. Simone, the closer for the Orioles.
5 for 5. And it hasn't been easy, but he's gotten the job done.
He's made it a roller coaster ride, but he's brought it to the finish line. Jones hitting at 247, and he'll take the strike on the outside corner. The Orioles looking for a 4-game win streak here. They have not had one of those this year, and it would guarantee them a victory here, would guarantee them a series win. Would be their 3rd of the season. Here's the 0-2 delivery, and Jones will fight that off upstairs. Talbot, an impressive performance.
Tell you what, he's a keeper. I mean, maybe we're seeing him in his best game, but it's very impressive. I mean, used all his pitches, made great pitches. He really got 2 balls in the middle of the plate, maybe 3. And Wigginton is looking right there, hit 2 of them.
He hasn't given up more than 9 hits in a ball game, and that was only once. I mean, 2-2, 6 3 times, 8 hits in 1. I mean, he's kept it down, an ERA of 3.43.
Well, his pitching coach said, Tim Belcher, he said, on some nights he can have 2 above average pitches. And tonight he's had great command. He didn't make the mistake with a 1 changeup, but then he came back last inning and got a strikeout with the same pitch.
0-2 delivery to Jones. He'll take that one to right field. Hit it pretty good. Backus Chu wanting track and room. And that will retire the side. Hope you'll join us again for more Orioles action. Series final tomorrow. David Hernandez on the mound against Jake Westbrook. Our coverage on MASN HD begins at 1. So we go to the 9th inning, and Alfredo Simon on, and it is a save situation.
Well, there are the numbers. The bottom line, he's gotten the job done. He came in the one-run ball game. Hit a guy, walked a guy, struck a guy out, gave up a single. Patterson threw out the runner. There was a 5th save. But again, he does have good stuff, and you can see the walks are up there a little bit. Strike out an inning. And he does. The ball comes out of his hand very nicely. Can he control it? That will be the question.
He goes to work here, trying to keep the potential tying run from reaching the plate. He's got 9, 1, and 2 in the order. Trevor Crowe, first ball game called up today. He has singled, walked, hit into a fielder's choice. Crowe, who is a switch hitter, gets ahead on the count here, 2-0. Cabrera and then Grudzielanek are due up. Branyan already used off the bench along with Sizemore. 2-0 delivery. Oops. That misses 3-0.
Well, it started in the middle of the plate, but he just cut it. And, again, great velocity, but the command, at least from what I've seen. So they need to get a guy on or two, and that's exactly what they're trying to do. There you go.
Left-handers against Simone this season, 5 for 18. Right-handers, 2 for 13. And he does tend to start these save situations out with somebody on base. 3-1 delivery on the way, and he comes back from a 3-0 to make it 3-2.
Yeah, he doesn't need to be perfect. If he aims for the middle of the plate, it's not going there. I mean, he's convinced me of that. Last year made the team as a starter, but had the Tommy John surgery.
Got him to pop that one up third base. Tejada. And he's got a nice comeback by Simone to get the out. Orioles baseball on Masson, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Go to southwest.com. Grab your bag. It's on. The Indians have been shut out once this season. The Orioles have one shutout to their credit.
That was the game in Minnesota that Brad Ferguson got back on track.
Yep.
Same score. At least same score as now. There you go.
Down, 9th inning, gets the fastball in against Cabrera. Cabrera is 0 for 3 in a sacrifice tonight. He is 0 for 7 in the first 2 games of the series. Hitting at .287. And he'll take it down low, 1-1.
Yeah, but the secondary pitch, and it's a good one, is the split trigger fastball, and he's not bashful about throwing it.
1 ball, 1 strike count. That one to the hole is a base hit. So Cabrera gets out of his short offer. 1 on, 1 down. Let's update you on the voting for the AT&T Player of the Game. Brian Mattis on top, Wigginton and Talbot the others. You can still text in your vote A, B, or C. 51862 results on the O's Extra postgame show. So the base hit, 7th of the ball game for the Indians, and Grudzielanik's got 2 of them. He is 2 for 4. Veteran with a runner at first base and 1 out. 9th inning. And that will be taken for a strike. Indians have been shut out by the White Sox 6-0, Minnesota 6-0, Oakland 10-0, and Oakland 11-0. 4 times they've been shut out this year. That is taken low, and a 1 ball, 1 strike count. Simone with Cabrera on at first base. Thrust into the closer's role the day he arrived, joining the Orioles. 1-1 delivery, and the fastball is going to miss. 2-1.
Yeah, you hope he settles in. I mean, he's been 5 for 5. As you have described it, roller coaster ride. And again, it's sometimes very difficult. We talked about it. Yeah, I mean, he was warming up the other day when Scott hit the grand slam. All of a sudden, you're in there. Protect this 1-run lead.
2-1 delivery on the way, and that's outside, and a 3 ball, 1 strike count.
And I would imagine, I only had 1 save in my whole career, that there's a tendency to maybe overthrow the ball a little bit.
He just turned 29 years old. Manny Acta his ball club, trying to set up a rubber match for tomorrow with a comeback win. 3-ball, 1-strike count with Chu and then Kearns on deck. And he walked it. So a single by Cabrera, and the walk to Grudzelanek puts runners on at first and second, and will bring Rick Kranitz to the mound.
And remember the 8th inning, you sequenced your way through the 8th inning after Albert's got the first batter out. So again, if he gets in trouble, you really don't have, Oldman's gone. So you don't have a matchup guy.
Sin-Soo Choo coming up. Home plate umpire heading out to break up the meeting.
And it's very hard. I mean, imagine what Rick Kranitz is talking. You can't tell him just run that fastball down and away, because that's not the way he pitches. Try to get ahead, get into a splitter count, hope that it splits. In other words, goes down.
Just in case the Indians are going to get their closer up, Kerry Wood.
And again, guess who's sitting over on the bench hoping for a big inning? Mitch Talbot. Yep.
Cleveland has not come back to win a ball game where they've trailed after 8. They're 0-16. Pitch is going to be outside. Sin-Soo Choo. Choo has singled, walked, get into a fielder's choice, and grounded out.
And to this moment, there's nobody up in the Oriole bullpen.
It's Simone's game. 1-0, runners off first and second base. Choo fouls it away. 1 ball and 1 strike. So right in the middle of the order for Simone.
Well, here's your HH, Greg. It's actually a pretty simple windup, but again, watch him fly open. So again, it's easy to go left.
1-1 delivery. 2-1.
And when you go left, your arm usually drags, and it's very difficult to get through the hitter, and that's what you're trying to do. You know who's hitting, but you're trying to throw the ball through the hitter to the catcher, and then hope that the movement or the split or whatever you're throwing works.
Dave Tremblay pacing over there. The 2-1 delivery on the way. Chu will take it inside, and he's ahead on the count 3-1. Chu's got the 9th best scoring average with runners in scoring position in the American League at 370. He's got runners at first and second here. The Orioles have a 2-0 lead. Clay Meredith, you saw the bullpen phone activated by Rick Kranitz. 3-1 delivery. Chu will go after it, and it's 3-2. Now Simone trying to work his way through this in his 9th appearance, looking for his 6th save. He surrendered 6 walks in the 8+ innings worked, including the one in this inning. 3-2 delivery. Chu, that's going to be a base hit into right field. Markakis was very deep. Cabrera will come around to score. He'll hold the runner Grudzelanek at second. The Indians are on the board, and it's a 2-1 ball game. Chu gets the RBI.
Yeah, Grudzelanek last year had knee problems. I mean, Nick Markakis is on the warning track, so this base hit should have created the 1st and 3rd situation. Nick comes in a long, long way. Cabrera easily scores because he can run.
So Chu delivers. And a 2-1 game with a potential tying run now on at second base. 20 RBIs for Chu. And here is Austin Kearns. Kearns an 0 for 4 with a couple of strikeouts.
And he came into this game as their leading guy with runners in scoring position at 385.
Takes the pitch on the inside corner for a strike.
So remember, tying run at second, go ahead run over at first. Equally as important in a sense.
Hafner waiting on deck. Simone got the first out. Cabrera singled. Grudzelanek walked. Chu singled. And it's fouled off outside of third for a 2-strike count on Austin Kearns. Outfield deep, especially Patterson in left. The 0-2 delivery, that is in the air to left field. That is way back. Austin Kearns, goodbye home run. A 3 RBI homer in the top of the 9th inning. And the Indians have taken a 4-2 lead.
Oh-2 pitch. Down the middle. Launched.
And the first blown save by Simone on that swing of the bat.
Well, you're going to have to be patient if he's going to close because he's a thrower.
So Clay Meredith will be coming on as this game's going to go to the bottom of the 9th. In their first ball game where they have gone to the 9th inning trailing. The Orioles have lost 3 such games this season. Orioles are 9-3 when they've had a lead after 8. Here's Travis Hafner, 1 strike on him, 1 down. Single by Cabrera, walk to Grudzielanek, single RBI by Chu, and the Kearns 3 RBI homer has given the Indians the 4-2 lead. They have out-hit the Orioles in the ball game, 10-5. So the Orioles starter, Brian Mattis, non-decision, and Mitch Talbert hung around. And the runs are to his credit. He's got a chance to be a winner.
You know, he pitched great. Mattis pitched a little bit better. And in defense of Alfredo Simon, they're asking him to do something he's never done. And you saw the byproduct of that. Wild, and he made a bad pitch, didn't mean to do it. Hopefully he'll get better with his command. But it's a hard job to do. And again, if things work out well, you invest all the money in Mike Gonzalez. He's able to do that, and he's throwing 94 instead of 89. But that's not the case. So somebody had to step up, and it happened to be Alfredo, and he just couldn't get the job done tonight.
And there's a strike taken by Travis Hafner. Hafner's drawn 1 walk, a single, and has struck out twice in the game. The Indians continued to have chances in the ball game. They've left 11 men on base. 6 in scoring position tonight. And another walk. So Meredith comes out of the bullpen. This is something we've not seen this year. Brian Mattis walked 4, Ullman 1, Uehara 1, Simon 1, and now Meredith 1. The Orioles, one of the striking examples of improvement's been the reduction in walks surrendered by the Orioles staff this year. But tonight the Indians have been able to pick some up. 1 down. Here's Johnny Peralta. He'll take the pitch outside. Wieters out to get it. He's drawn a walk in the game, struck out, hit into a double play, and flied out. Clay Meredith with the 1-0 pitch. That's ripped into left for a base hit. Patterson will hold the runner Hafner at second. 2 on. Still only 1 down. For Alfredo Simon, a third of an inning. He's charged with 4 runs earned on 3 hits, 1 walk.
So the glowing numbers, and you alluded to them earlier, what, 5 earned runs in 27 1/3 innings? Since the second, that certainly changes. Now you got to give the Indians credit. They had some great at-bats, worked the walks. Kearns 0-2. Struggle, Maddux struck him out the first 2 times. Certainly didn't seem anxious when he hit that 3-run home run.
There's Kearns on the right with Grutzelanek. Still 1 away. Meredith looking for the double play here. Russell Branyan. Branyan came on as a pinch hitter. Drew a walk in the 8th inning. First and second. Branyan will foul that back into the screen.
Well, they've out-hit the Orioles 11-5 so far.
After the Orioles gave up only 3 hits in the ballgame last night to the Indians, out-hitting them 14-3 and winning 8-1. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Meredith's deliveries outside, 2-1. Russell Branyan at the plate is the 8th Indian to hit here in the 9th inning. Manny Actors got Kerry Wood warmed up in the pen, their closer. That's a foul ball. And the count will go to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Wood just getting back to resume his role as their closer.
Yeah, back problems, so they have 3 options. We saw Tony Sipp. They have Chris Perez, who throws in the upper 90s. So if you get out of this inning, and that's important right here. I mean, you're only 2 runs down. You can pretty much do what they did.
2-2 delivery fouled away. It's interesting, their bullpen coach, who you may have seen walking into the pitcher, Scott Radinsky. Pretty tough man coming out of the bullpen himself in his day, boy. And he works the bullpen now for the Indians for Manny Active.
He is neighbors with Rick Dempsey.
Yep.
Yeah, he lives out in California, Southern California area.
2-2 delivery and got him. Meredith gets the strikeout of Russell Branyan.
Blown away sinker. Watch the bottom drop out. Boom. That's what he does best.
So the Indians have batted around here in the 9th inning as Grady Sizemore will come to the plate. Or Mike Redmond, I'm sorry. Redmond came on to do the catching. Redmond batting for the first time. 8 hits, 35 at bats for the backup catcher. Takes it away for a ball. First and second still occupied, but now 2 away. And that's going to be in the gap into right center field. Mike Redmond all the way to the wall. Hafner will score. Peralta will score. A 2 RBI double for Mike Redmond and a 6-2 lead.
Well, the veteran, 39-year-old right-hander, sinker in the middle of the plate, or should I say fastball, and he just screams it up the middle and then into right center field, slicing away from Adam Jones. There's Hafner. The big guy scores, and right behind him.
4th double and
Peralta.
RBIs 4 and 5 for Mike Redmond. First at bat in the ball game. And now the 10th hitter of the inning. Crow started this inning out by popping out against Simone for the first out. Boy, what a big hit by Redmond. That changes everything, as they say. Kearns with a big home run in the inning, 3 RBIs, and that one is hit way back in right field. Trevor Crow, goodbye home run. A 2 RBI homer for Crow and an 8-2 Cleveland lead.
Just a slider that stays up. Crow does the rest of it. So much easier to elevate a breaking ball when it's up. Speeds up the bat, and when it comes down, an 8-run inning so far.
Orioles came into the 9th inning leading 2-0, and they now trail 8-2. And Crow just called up today. It's his first home run. That one in the air to center field by Asdrubal Cabrera. Jones is there and will put it away. But what a 9th inning. Bottom of the 9th coming. Indians now lead it by 6. A save situation. It'll be Tony Sipp rather than Kerry Wood.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, I mean, he can throw anywhere to 94. Look at that, 15 strikeouts, 4 in 14 innings, only 7 hits. The walks up there. But then again, it seems like most bullpen guys, walks are up a little bit. But again, good stuff. You know, he's got a slider, and also has a changeup, but doesn't throw it a whole lot. But when he does, it can be very effective. So he comes in to protect a huge lead now. What is it? You get an idea of how difficult it is to get 3 outs.
8 runs on 6 hits in the 9th inning for the Indians. That's a new high for them in runs in an inning this year and in hits in an inning this year.
Well, Gary, I remember when I played instructional league for Cal Ripken Sr. We're on the road. We got a huge lead. Bat boy starts putting away the bats and all that. He said, got to get 27 outs. And that was the story tonight. Unless the Orioles have a major comeback here in the bottom of the 9th.
Talbert hung along and worked 8 innings, 2 runs, 5 hits over 8, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts. He trailed the entire time he was on the mound, but he left after performing yeoman's work in the ball game, and now he's got a chance to be the winner. 8 innings for the starter, Tony Sipp on.
He did a John Lackey. Lackey did that both times against the Orioles. Maybe not 8, but 7. And somehow was able to hang around, at least in Boston, for a win. You don't see too many young pitchers able to pitch 8 innings effectively like that and keep the pitch down where they can stay in the game. But he was certainly able to do it tonight. Very impressive.
Chance for his 5th win of the year. 0-2 delivery, Markakis, and he will take it. A ball and 2 strikes from Sipp. The Orioles now need base runners. Down here in the ball game by a score of 8-2. Markakis, Tejada, and Scott due up. 1-2 delivery. Shallow left. Turns coming. Left fielder, and nobody's going to get there. Third baseman Peralta was there as well. The Orioles bullpen, which had the 2nd lowest ERA over the last couple of weeks we showed you, unable to get it done. Simone with the 4 runs, 3 hits, and a third of an inning. Meredith so far 4 runs, 3 hits, and 2/3 of an inning. 1 ball, 2 strike count from Sip. 1-2 delivery. And Markakis down the line, left field. That's going to be a base hit. Kearns will have to play it around the wall. And Nick Markakis, 5-game hit streak, his first hit of the ball game, a leadoff double.
That's why when Redmond hit the double, if Meredith gets him out, it would only have been 4-2. And this is, again, you're not going to give away at bats. Markakis is so good at not doing that. But it would have been nice to be within 2, even though they scored 4 runs.
So now Miguel Tejada will come in against Sip. Tejada in the ball game's had an 0 for 3. A couple of hits and 7 at bats so far in the series. Sip 12 of the 16 times out. He's held the opponent scoreless.
Another Tommy John survivor in the reconstruction of the elbow back in 2007.
Tejada takes it inside, almost rode right out of the mitt of Redmond that time.
Pascagoula, Mississippi. 1,337 player pick, 46 round. That's pretty amazing. That's Downing. And to the big leagues, second year. Good year last year, 2-0.
Runner off second base, 1-0 delivery by Sip, and that's going to be inside. Now it'll be Manny Acta's turn to start walking around. You don't surrender walks in the bottom of the 9th with your club up 8-2. You can see him over there going like, get on the phone.
Well, they do have 6 runs to work with, but they're not going to. Again, you have Sip, then you have Perez. We saw Wood. I would imagine Wood. Carey will get up, start throwing again.
2-0 count. Sip's fastball is in there for a strike. Tejada taking it 2-1.
Very rarely has that pitch been called a strike tonight. Mark Wagner has favored the low strike.
You can almost get into more trouble with your manager as a relief pitcher when you come on with the big lead and walk a couple of guys, and if you come into a close game and lose it because you threw some strikes. That one foul back. And it'll be Chris Perez up in the bullpen.
And probably because of Wood's back problems, you don't want to get him up and down, sit him down. And Chris Perez is, like Manny Acta said, I have 3 guys out there, Sip one of them, supposedly, there's Kerry Wood, that can miss bats. At least that's what he hopes.
Always a good thing as a pitcher, isn't it?
Yeah. Happens every spring. Ray Milano.
2-2 delivery on the way. Tejada fouls that one back. This Indians bullpen is 6th in ERA. They do give up a lot of hits, 11th most among pens in the American League. They've given up the fewest home runs as a bullpen. 2 ball, 2 strike count. Sip trying to wrap this game up that doesn't want to go away. It's been 2 different games. 2-0 lead for the Orioles through 8 innings on Ty Wigginton's 2 home runs. And then an entirely different game in the 9th. And Tejada again will pop it up as the Indians got 8 runs on 6 hits. 3 RBI homer by Kearns, a 2 RBI double picked up by Redmond, and a 2 RBI homer by Crow, his first of the year.
Pretty timely. He gets called up today because of Andy Marte going on the disabled list, and then he ends up hitting a home run.
Starting in center field. 2 ball, 2 strike count on Tejada. Markakis off second base. Tony Sip, the 2-2. And that's going to be a base hit. Center field. No! A great catch made by Crow. Gets it back in, trying to double up Markakis. Not quite in time. Fine play. So he adds a little D to his first day.
Again, a former #1 draft choice, and probably known more for his speed and defense than for his ability to hit the ball out of the ballpark. And right here, Nick Markakis kind of in between, down by 6 runs, easily gets back. But what a play by Crow.
Well, Tejada denied the base hit, and there's one out here in the 9th inning. Luke Scott now, the DH in the game. Luke's had an 0 for 2 and a walk after a 3 for 5 ball game last night. Luke at .228 on the year. .250 off left-handers. And Scott will take the delivery up high for a ball. Day game tomorrow. Maybe the rubber match if the score holds. David Hernandez will be going after his first win against Jake Westbrook, 1-2. O's extra at 1. Game time 1:30. 1-0 delivery, and the fastball's up high. So Sip is prolonging the agony here for the Indians.
You know, I met him. Tim Belcher introduced me to him. He said, got to keep throwing strikes.
Not yet.
No.
Act is growing a long beard over there waiting.
And then you find at this level you have to throw quality strikes. Can't get behind guys and stay in the middle of the plate.
Buries that one in a fastball with Scott taking in a 2-ball 1-strike count.
Well, I learned that, you know, my first year in A-ball, I pitched 129 innings and walked 130 batters. So I learned very easily that, and early, that managers don't like that.
No.
And then I played for Earl Weaver and he hated it. He went from
and let you do that.
Oh, did he ever?
2-1 delivery on the way. Scott fouls that back into the screen.
When I hurt my shoulder, we were in Rochester, and Earl was managing, and there was a guy named Jerry Heron. Good arm, good stuff, and wild. And he walked the bases loaded, and Earl ran out, and he said, if you walk another guy, and not exactly that language,
no, I bet.
You might as well go home. Pack your bags and go to AA, Elmira. Ball 1, ball 2, ball 3, ball 4. So I went in to console him, and he was gone. He was on his way to Elmira. So I learned that Earl didn't. He wants you to make them earn their way on base.
2-2 delivery on the way to Scott. He'll fight that off. And it will stay at 2-2.
And then you learn at this level in the major leagues that being wild is just not walking people. If you're wild in the middle of the plate, they let you know that that's just as bad as walking people, because they start hitting line drives all over the place, and you're backing up the bases. And
two-ball, 2-strike count on Luke Scott. Markakis started the inning with a double. He's still out there at second base. And the 2-2 delivery on the way is swung out and missed. So Sip gets a strikeout, and the Orioles down to 1 out to work with. Lugo's going to get his first at bat. Lugo came in as a defensive replacement, which seems odd to say at this point for Ty Wigginton, who had 2 home runs, 2 for 3, but that's when the Orioles had a 2-0 lead. So now Lugo will bat with a runner at second, 2 down, and the Indians looking for a very big comeback win in this game. Lugo, he's picked it up in May, 8 for 21, hitting .224 overall. And the pitch by Sip is away for ball 1. So the Orioles' 3-game losing streak, 3-game win streak may be ended here. They had a chance, and still do, to extend it to 4, which would have been the longest of the season. And we're in good shape to do that in the 9th, but Cleveland looks like they have put that away. Here's the 1-0 delivery. Mitch Talbot, the starter, gets the win. He will be 5-2, and he'll have his first decision against the Orioles.
And then that number that keeps coming out, less than 3 runs. They were 2-20 coming into the game. They'll go to 2-21 if they lose this game. It's just hard to win.
3 runs.
Yeah, with 3 runs or less, or in this case 2. Doesn't happen very often.
Simone would suffer his first loss along with his first blown save. Second base, Good Solanic. And this one's in the books. And for the Orioles, it hurts, as the Indians